Hello, I'm Dave, and I was just saying back with another pick video because I do that every day. But we're back. It's been ingrained in my brain doing it every day for half a year. But this is Nerd Talk, the Capper Collective. It's different. It's kind of the same. It's on YouTube and it's a video, but it's a live show. And if you've been here before, you know what we do. If you haven't been here before, we get together. It's a bunch of cappers. Actually, this idea came from something we did already. We got on StreamYard and capped games. We said, hey, why don't we throw that out in the public so people can see how we cap? We all have different styles. We're all different. I wouldn't call us experts, but we all cap different sports, and we're from all over the place. So that's why it's a Capper Collective, and it's nerds or Nerd Talk, because what could be nerdier than a bunch of guys getting around, getting excited to talk about numbers and statistics. So handicapping sounds pretty fucking nerdy to me. But anyways, thanks for showing up. There's nothing nerdy about making money. I will say that. And that's what we did last week. We went up 5 units after 2 horrible weeks. We're up 10 units as a group. The show's been going a couple months, so that's not stellar, but it's pretty good. We took 2 really hard hits, so I'd say we'll regress back to the mean of winning handily. But anyways, we've got Nick with me. He's here every week. World Sports Bets. We've got Occupancy, Hockey Capper Extraordinaire. That's what we're going to do first. I think that's what we're going to do, partially because of the cappers that come on, but partially because of the attention we get for football later in the show. So that's what we're going to start with. But let's talk about bet like we always do. Let's talk about bets that we have. Right now, I'm on Western Kentucky in the Western Kentucky UAB game. It's 7-0 UAB. It's still early. That's still a very, very light bet. I got him at -1.5. Actually, did I bet the money line in that one? No, I didn't. -1.5. Then I am on. Let's pull up the 2 other bets. I can't believe I can't remember. The Pelicans. Hornets over at 230. The line dropped. I got horrible line value, absolutely horrible, and that happens sometimes with totals in basketball. I still think it's a live bet. Nick, what is it? What is it right now? Do you have it up? Any chance?
Live line for which game again?
Charlotte, New Orleans.
I'm seeing 233.5.
Oh, that's perfect. That's great. So the scoring average must have gone up. Anyways, that's that. And then I have a bet that Nick's on the other side of, I think, in Tampa Bay, Florida, and the NHL. I'm on the under 6.5. I think he's on the over.
I'm on the over.
I haven't even seen if that game's gone off yet, but
it's 1-1 right now, and the second period's starting.
Okay, so both of us are live in that bet. That's what I posted. I did also bet the Blackhawks because I'm gonna find ways to to back this team. I don't know. I like the logo. I like that they're a really bad team. I don't know why I like that, because I think it's fun to like a bad team.
Yeah, I know exactly what that feels like. I had that last year with my good old Coyotes, which I'm fading tomorrow.
I'm not secretly. I'll openly say it. Having an affinity for the Golden Knights. I like how they play.
Yes,
I like how they play. They play like the Steelers play. They play like the Niners play. They play like the Ravens play. Teams that I like. They go out there and they just fucking go for it hard nosed. And they don't play this cutesy little passing shit. They don't look like they have a Harden or Westbrook style like ball hog to puck hog. Doesn't seem like it to me.
No. And by the way, you mentioned one of the teams that they play like. We'll have to touch on this later with the 49ers getting a running back here.
Oh hell yeah. We'll talk about that. Not a ton of NFL on the show. We'll recap stuff, but we can talk about it right now if you want, because kind of just open thing. CMC, Christian McCaffrey, he's going to be a Niner. I don't know how that happened. That came out of left. I'm a Niners fan. That came out of left field. It's only going to make us better. We're a team that runs the ball well with no key running back. We haven't had one. I mean, Rashad. What's his first name? Rashad Mostart. Mostart's his last name. He was Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
Him and McKinnon, and I mean, we were on like a 4-string running back 2 years ago when we, went to the Super or last year we went to the NFC Championship. So, Nick, you brought it up. What are your thoughts? I mean, I think that just, even though their record isn't so good, and even though they've had some bad games, that just solidifies them as a playoff team, I think.
We're saying, fuck it, we're a Super Bowl team this year. That's the message they're sending out to me, because they only gave up a second, third, and fourth round pick, which to me, when healthy, you're acquiring a top 5 running back in the NFL for a second, third, and fourth round pick. Absolutely sign me up for that. And it makes me feel even better about one of the plays that we gave out during the Capper Collective on Wednesday that's now dropped 20 cents. I think I gave out the 49ers money line at plus 125 against the Chiefs. And I'm loving that even more now. Now it's down to a plus 105. And even though he's only going to be in red zone packages on Sunday, I really like that play. But if he stays healthy, this is a great move by the 49ers.
Do you occupancy? Do you have any thoughts on it? I mean, it's a pretty big move, but I don't know how much you do NFL.
Oh, I love football. Any chance I can get on Sundays, I'll be watching football. Betting it, still a little new to it, but no, I really think that the 49ers are going to improve. I think they're going for playoff postseason success with this addition here. We all know kind of what he can do, but at the same time, the Niners defense is what I've been always paying attention to, and that's going to be the backbone of their season moving forward. So I mirror really what you guys say, and I'd be looking to cash a Niners ticket on Sunday with you guys. Have all these rollovers and everything. So definitely happy to bet NFL whenever I can.
Yep, we're both, Nick and I are on it, and not for being a fanboy. I just think it's a really good spot. This just
I think stylistically, the Niners are a bad team for the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's slow versus fast. So we'll and by the way, the Niners, Mahomes did what Mahomes did in the Super Bowl. There's a lot of the same players on this team, even the quarterback from that Super Bowl, and the Niners controlled it for 2.5 quarters until Mahomes did what he did.
And that's on the Chiefs Super Bowl, though.
Yeah, well, I couldn't be. Anyway, we'll see. It's going to be a good game. It's probably the best game. Let's look at the games. Then we'll get to hockey. Probably the best game of the weekend, because the primetime games are fucking awful. Just like yesterday, great. They scored a lot of points. Finally, the overhit. I don't care. I don't give a shit about either of those teams. They're not doing anything. It was like, we have the Saints and the Cardinals. Then we have and this is before the season started. Maybe they thought that those teams would be better than they are. Okay, I'll give them that. But what about this one? Pittsburgh, Miami, with Mitch Trubisky, or Kenny Pickett. I mean, and Tua Tagovailoa, which no one thought he was going to have that 600 or 500-yard game or whatever the fuck he had. That's a horrible choice for a Sunday night game. And then here's the craziest one. Monday Night Football, the only game on that day. The Bears and the Patriots. The Patriots have the worst team they've had in 20 years. What did and the Bears are one of the worst teams in the NFL. What were they thinking? These guys need to be fired. But anyway, let's talk about hockey.
Hey, can you give us another Broncos game?
Well, so Broncos were supposed to be better, so that wasn't supposed to be that bad. But I don't know, Seahawks, Broncos. I don't know. I agree with you. These it's horrible scheduling.
I was being sarcastic, saying, "Can you give us another Broncos game instead of the 49ers, or instead of not the 49ers?" Instead
that game actually ended up being pretty good. It wasn't good because the Niners lost, but breaking news: the Red Wings Blackhawks game just started, or is starting.
Let's go Red Wings or Blackhawks.
Blackhawks.
I didn't bet it. Yeah, I was thinking quick there.
What's up, Stop Geo? Crystal's in the house. We love seeing you guys. Don, Playa. You come in on Marley's shows, right? I think you do. Either way, we love you on here. Love the chat. Love all your support, guys. Let's get straight up to hockey with two shitty teams. By the way, one's overachieving and one is just shitty, and I have to bet them every game. And that is the Wild and the Bruins, because I said I would. I do what I say, but I'm down three half a units. I lost a unit and a half, so hopefully today it's different. You know who this is? That's my mom. Hey, Mom.
Hey.
How
Hi,
you
Mom.
doing? She watches my shows with my nephews, and
Uh-oh.
yeah,
How old
yeah,
are they?
younger than they should be to watching it, but it doesn't
All right.
matter.
Don't watch this. This
They're
is
10 and 8, but they're fine. They'll be all right. Okay, the Wild and the Bruins. Looks like they have to be two crummy teams because Boston's favored, but the money line's -115. You guys tell me, you're the experts. I'll start with you, Nick, but I will be betting the Wild because I said I will, and it's an experiment. But God, what a horrible experiment so far. It's been nasty. And they almost lost yesterday too. They won in overtime, so good for them.
Yeah, that was not a convincing win.
I
That was,
know.
No, you went to overtime as a -170 favorite against a winless team. Not impressed. On the last game of a road trip. Not impressed. This Wild team does not look good. I do lean Bruins in this game. Did not bet the side, did bet the total. And this is something I think I've gone to the window almost every game with the Wild so far, and that is the over. I just expect goals in these games with the Wild. Marc-Andre Fleury has statistically been the worst goalie in hockey when you look at expected goals against and expected or goals saved above average stuff. All like the advanced analytics, he's been the worst goalie in hockey, and I think he has a ceiling of a league average goalie at this age.
What's his nickname? The flower, the something
The
flower.
flower has wilted. I'm sorry, the flower has wilted. So I think that they're going to give up goals tomorrow, and I can see the Wild putting up some goals as well. I got over 6.5 in this game.
That's kind of what I was thinking about the game. I have two opinions, two games that I'm looking at that I, in my limited knowledge, like, but that was my first initial. Well, it's basically because, hey, the Bruins are doing better than people thought they were, and the Wild are doing wildly horrible, and they were, I don't know anymore, I haven't looked, conceding the most goals in this short season. I mean, 7 a game, or now it's less because they only gave up 3, but shit.
Yeah, well, that's sad that's now lowering your average.
Well, it's really early, so we'll see, but from what I've watched, which, again, novice watching it, and from having a money interest in it, I'm not happy. But anyway, occupancy. You have anything on this game?
Yeah, I'm with Nick here. So I'm taking a little bit of a different approach. I think the Boston team total over 3.5 could be a good look here. The money line is really tight. So the books, have decided it's pretty much a pick 'em. I look at trends, like micro trends a lot. So I always bring this up at the Buffalo season start last year. They had like 9 games. So that was like a number I'm looking at is like 5 games, 10 games. Boston has come out strong. So even though they have a game in hand against a couple people, they've scored 22 goals in 5 games, and that's number 1. So I don't care, like, if you're NHL, like these raw stats are really important. So if you're going to be able to lead the NHL in goals in the first 5 games, like you're a serious team. On the other side, Minnesota Wild have let up the second most goals in the beginning of the season here at 23 goals in 4 games, and that's not good. So I see goals. I agree with the over. I lean towards Boston to get the job done. I've said this again before, but like everyone was saying to fade them early. No Marchand, no McAvoy. They're just playing. Yeah, they're playing great hockey. Player props. I've been going to DeBrusk. He's been getting points and shots. Pavel Zacha for a third line look. And then David Pastrnak. He has been firing the puck. I think 32 shots so far in 5 games. You got to look at 3.5s and 4.5s with him. So, it takes a little bit more, weapons there to go higher on that. Like if you're betting over 4.5 shots, like it's like real deal, hockey bettors who are doing those kinds of things. I like the 2.5s.
Yeah, that's a bonus on DraftKings. When you play DFS, five or more shots is an extra couple of fantasy points.
Yeah, so
those
are
the top of the top guys.
Heavy hitters will be taking those, but Pastrnak is absolutely worth talking there. Do I think the Wild can make this competitive? Maybe. But losing to the Kings in the way they did and just getting kind of shelved on all their appearances here, I could see these like 8-9 game streaks coming up. And I think the Wild are going to just lose the beginning here, and then maybe figure it out and make a run. Just like some teams who I think are winning aren't going to be winning, in November. But that's what I like for this game.
Yeah, one thing I will mention is we will find out who this Wild team truly is in these next 8 to 10 games, because they have Boston. But then, how good are they going to be when they're playing not great competition? Because what they've started with is the Rangers, a team that a lot of people think are going to be able to go far in the playoffs. The Kings, who are a playoff team last year, the defending Stanley Cup champions, and then they finally got a win against Vancouver. They play Boston, and then they do get a little bit of a break in their schedule. Montreal, Ottawa, Detroit, Chicago, Montreal, Seattle, LA again, Anaheim, Seattle, San Jose.
All below, average to below
average teams other than the Kings.
Yep.
And that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Right. I'm giving them a hard time, but the Rangers made a deep run last year, have one of the best goalies, and was the second team they played? The Kings. The Kings are all right. I watch them play. I like the way they look. I don't like the way they shoot. They do that's the game where I started really liking the Knights, because the Kings like to pass the ball and let the other team make their goalie stand on his head, and he did. I think they scored 3 goals, but they shot like 70 times or 60 times, something crazy.
Golden Knights shot a lot on him quick that night.
Anyway, the point being is, you're right. They're going to start playing some crummy teams, and we'll see. If they lose, we'll call them crummy and we'll celebrate. Or I won't, but I'm sticking to that bet. I said what I'm gonna, and it's gonna even out. And so I'll either
probably be this bad all year long.
There's no way.
All right. Am I betting them against good teams now?
No. So no sides, just totals in this game, I guess.
Lean Boston.
Over
them. Okay. Just a bet.
All right, next game: San Jose Sharks and the New Jersey Devils. The Devils are what I'd consider a big favorite, but in hockey, I guess minus 195 isn't a huge favorite. Sharks are 1-5. Devils are 2-2. Totals at 6.5. No thoughts in this game. Don't really know either team, except for I think they're not that great based on the people, what people are saying that are around me that know about hockey. But I'll start with occupancy first. If he's ready, do you have a pick or an opinion?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go and talk about goals for, goals against real quick and see what I can get to with it. I'm interested to hear what you guys think as well. Definitely love talking hockey with you guys. The Sharks have put up 11 goals in 6 games. That's bad. It's not even 2 a game. And they've let up 21 in 6. Also not great. The Devils scored 12 and 4 and only let up 13 and 4. And they're coming off a pretty, I'd say, emotional win against Islanders, tri-state rivals early in the season, trying to get these, 2 points and 1 point when they can. But am I going to lay this type of number with New Jersey? I don't think so. I don't know what the best odds people can get. But it's not really going to be like the highlight of my card is like a Devils money line at minus 200. It's just not going to happen. So it'd have to go over. But I don't really trust the Sharks to help out with the over. And I don't know if the Devils are going to put up 5 or 6. I see like a 4-1 game, 4-2 game. Maybe this lands right on the 6. So I don't know if I'm going to get involved really, unless it's Devils team total. My book hasn't released the lines yet. Actually, wait, no, I got one book that does. My bad. Let me see what they got here. But then player props. I haven't really dug too much into the Devils, but I remember last year there was a wagon. Nick knows. They were really fun, and people were cashing Hughes props, Sharon Govich props left and right. It's awesome. So I'm not trying to get involved with that. We got to obviously look at the main card out of respect to the game. And I would be leaning Devils team total over 3.5 if I had to take a side. I'm seeing actually minus 115 for that. So, I don't know if that's going to be my favorite play of the day, but that's how I would look at this game.
Nick, what do you think?
I'm locked and loaded on a play in this one, and I've at the moment I believe beat a 17-cent live movement already on this one. Yeah. When I capped this game earlier with Nathan, they were minus 165 ish. So this line's moved 30 cents, and the puck line was plus 157. Now it's down to a plus 140. I got in on early on them plus 157 on the puck line. You look at the underlying measures in this team, and this New Jersey team should be. We look at expected numbers, undefeated at this point. Their advanced metrics suggest they could be a top 10 team in hockey. Like that's how good their advanced numbers say they should be. The only problem is their goaltending's been bad this year, but it's picked up the last 2 games, only giving up 2 against Anaheim, and the Islanders can barely get anything against this New Jersey defense yesterday. It was really frustrating to watch. And they got the Devils absolutely dominated them on every metric of the game there. And when we look at this Devils team, they have a potential to be a elite team if they just have average goaltending, because they're dominating the expected goal battles. They're doing all those things. So the Devils, I think, are a team I'm going to look to back, and I'm going to do that with this game here. Take a minus 1.5. I got it at plus 157. It's down to a plus 140. I would probably take it all the way down to plus 130 if I had to. I think they win this rather convincingly.
How do you key in on one person? Like I can make me full screen, right? How do I make you full screen?
You would move me to where you are.
Oh, you got to be in. I got you. All right. Well, that's not happening because it's my show. But anyways, I'm just looking at goals scored and goals against, and the only play would be the puck line, I think, because the Sharks are in the bottom third in goals allowed, but they're second worst in goals scored per game. When the Devils are allowing 3.25 a game and scoring 3 a game. So even the total is gonna land. I mean, one way or another, that kind of seems right at a 6.
Yep.
Anyway, all right. On to the next game, Blues and Oilers. Absolutely no opinion except for I know Connor McDavid's on the Oilers, and 2-0, 2-2. Wow, the Blues have only played 2 games. The lines the totals at 7. The line is Edmonton minus 145. So Nick, take it away. I think these are 2 like playoff. Obviously, the Oilers are a playoff team. Blues are a playoff team too.
I absolutely think the Blues are not only a playoff team, but they're a Stanley Cup contender. I have tickets for them to win the division, win the conference, win the cup, things like that. I was high on this team last year. They made me a lot of money last year. I'm high on them again this year. Did not pull the trigger on them in this game though. I would lean Blues if I had to get to this game, but I really don't have an opinion on this one, other than a lean.
Anything from occupancy?
Yeah, it's like a social comment here. Hockey is one of these sports where you have a lot of different interest parties
Red
who like certain markets. Markets and teams. So like Ryan Whitney, Spittin' Chicklets is like a huge Oilers guy. So I think a lot of those people put a ton of money onto Oilers money line tickets. And I think they drive the price. I mean, I'm not just saying it's that, because there's obviously sports handicappers all over the world. But Edmonton's just a team that, I don't know. I think this game should be closer to a pick 'em, based on just like the way these teams are. St. Louis off rest, kind of just waiting. They haven't played since the 19th. Oilers had to play a 10-goal game with Carolina last night. So I just don't like the price. I'd be looking to back Edmonton at home. But the Blues are a funky Saturday team too. I just remember last year I couldn't read them, honestly, on Saturdays. It was just they play a lot of brunch games, the Blues do. And then, so they're just one of these market teams. So ultimately I'll try to get involved with player props. But it'd be probably a lean towards Edmonton. But I just don't like the price.
Cool. We can move on to the next game. The Coyotes and the Senators. Coyotes 1-3, Senators 2-2. Ottawa's a big. Well, that doesn't surprise anyone that Ottawa's a favorite. I mean, anyone's a favorite versus the Coyotes. Money line's at 250. Total is at 6.5. Might as well, while I'm doing that, say what the puck line is. If I'm pulled up, I'll have the puck line shit up too because that's important, isn't it? Yes, it is. Where are we? See, they don't have them in the same order that ESPN does, and that's what I use for. Oh, here we go. Coyotes getting a goal and a half at minus 114, and then while I think this is going to be a one score game, and the Senators are laying a goal and a half at 107 plus 107.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, you can take it away. I know you like the. Well, I guess they're like one of the teams like the Blackhawks. They're fun to like because they suck, but
they are fun to like because they suck. This is just a terrible spot for them, and they suck. And looking at it, this is, I believe, the fourth game of a road trip. Fifth game. This is the fifth game of a 6-game road trip to open up the year for Arizona. Arizona is one of 3 teams that have yet to play a home game. Along with the Chicago Blackhawks and the Vancouver Canucks have yet to play a home game. And Ottawa's played much better at home than they have on the road. Is one thing I've noticed. The last 2 games at home, they fell down early against Washington and then took over after the first period, which was frustrating to see as somebody with the Washington ticket. And they played an exciting game against Boston, where there was 12 goals scored, which I don't know if we'll see that again here. But I did take Ottawa. I did beat about an 8-cent line movement on this one. I noticed I have a lot of good CLV from this slate that I bet, because I bet a lot of this stuff early. I got plus 115 with Ottawa minus 1.5. I love the Coyotes, but this is a spot where I just don't like them. I don't think I like them until they come back, until they play a home game, really, because this is a team that's going to struggle on the road a little bit. And I don't think this is a good spot for them.
What do you think, occupancy?
I'm with Nick. He's saying it the way I think it's going to go down here. Situationally, I think it was Daniel Alfredson night with the Bruins, and they came out with a 3-goal lead, and then it going back and forth, trading chances, and then winning 7-5. Are the Red Wings scored again?
Yep, 2-0.
Nice.
Well, it goes my team.
For me, but
sorry, Dave.
No, it's all good. I don't. I'm watching something else. That's all a big freaking joke. I have no capping behind that. That's just me
taking the Hawks.
Yeah.
They are cool. They are cool, like historic team though, and it was Patrick Kane, like his last opening night potentially. But back to this Ottawa game, it's just had to back Ottawa here. Nick beat the line movement. I would still take plus 105. I think for the minus 1.5 for the Senators there. Am I going to get involved with the puck line? I don't know. I could. I mean, they beat the Caps by 3, and they're at home again, right? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think Senators puck line, the over 6.5. I think also, but haven't gotten to it yet. But definitely agree with Nick here.
Sweet. All right, on to the next game. A game that I actually have an opinion on.
Oh, I want to hear you talk first then.
Okay, it's the Penguins and the Blue Jackets, and it basically has to do.
Are we talking about March of the Penguins again?
No, we can. You want to hear that all again?
No.
Penguins have wings but can't fly, and anyways, we're not going to do all that again. I did save that. I should post that on Twitter every once in a while to remind people how awesome I am at NHL capping. But so Penguins are 3-0-1. Blue Jackets are 2-3. Pittsburgh's money lines minus 178. That might not be the best one. That's just what it has. What was that?
Sorry. I'm uploading videos for picks and parlays too right now, so I accidentally clicked the play button on a video I'm uploading.
Puck line for Pittsburgh's plus 140, laying a goal and a half. Columbus is plus a goal and a half at minus 160. And let me pull up what I was looking at. Basically, it has to do with results so far. I don't know the teams. I don't know what I kind of know what their expectation is based upon last year, what people are telling me, or what's viewed as a good team or a bad team. But Columbus is the worst scoring team so far through 5 games in the NHL, while Pittsburgh is the best, is the top scoring team with 5 goals per game. And they also have only conceded 2 points goals a game, while the Blue Jackets have given up 3. It just sounds like the differences between what each are scoring and giving up are great enough for me to feel comfortable with taking a puck line bet. And or a team total. The team total, I haven't looked at the team totals yet. I don't even know if they're out yet. But I'm going to gauge whether I'm taking a team total or a puck line bet. But I'm liking and betting one of those, maybe both of them, Penguins puck line. And you guys, I would love to hear what you have to say.
Oh, you're not really, because I've already locked and loaded on the Blue Jackets money line.
Well, then talk to me.
And yeah, you point out those numbers, and yeah, the Penguins are off to a great start, but the strength of schedule has not been there for the Penguins. I think their toughest opponent was so far Tampa Bay on the second half of a back-to-back with a backup goaltender.
One of the best teams in the NHL.
In a terrible scheduling spot with their backup goaltender, not their couple-time Vezina Trophy winner or Conn Smythe winner. No. And they played Arizona. They lost to Montreal. And they beat a Kings team on the 4th game of a road trip.
The Penguins haven't lost yet.
Huh?
Penguins haven't lost yet.
No, they did. They lost in overtime. They lost in overtime to Montreal.
Why does it say 3-0-1?
3-0, overtime loss. Overtime loss.
Oh, it's not a tie. See, shows how much. Okay.
In Columbus, their strength of schedule has actually been pretty good. They haven't looked great. They're 2-3 to start the year. They played Carolina, a Stanley Cup contender. They played Tampa Bay with Vasilevsky in net, a Stanley Cup contender. They played the St. Louis Blues, in my opinion, a Stanley Cup contender. Vancouver, which I think it's better than people think they are. They're off to a slow start, but I think they're better. And then Nashville, who's a fringe playoff contender. They've won the last 2 games. I'm not high on Pittsburgh this year. I have a ticket for them to miss the playoffs. I think this team is going to regress, and I'm not super high on them. I'm not impressed about their wins so far this year because they've beaten the crap out of teams that are either way worse or in terrible situations, either on a 4th game of a road trip, back-to-back with the goaltender, back-to-back in 3rd game in 4 days with the backup goaltender. Like, Pittsburgh, I don't think should be this big of favorites. I took Columbus at plus money. I'm not impressed with what the Penguins have done so far.
This is what I want to hear. This is what I want to hear. I mean, I'm still going to stick with my cap, but and I have another game I like too, or actually a total. But what do you think occupancy? Are you anti-Penguins? How could you be anti-Penguins? They're so cute.
I know, and I got to see March of the Penguins again because
I saw it. I don't smoke anymore. I mean, this is Nick, but I saw it actually when I saw it in the theaters. It was incredibly boring because I was stoned, and like that's not the movie to watch when you're stoned. It's the movie to watch when you're on like either either with kids or the opposite end of the spectrum doing mushrooms or something. Like it has to be. You can't be stoned for that. It's not a comedy. It's not a fast pace. It's very slow and long. But I've seen it since then, and it's a good movie. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I like a good any good nature film or animal. I love that stuff. But this game is in Columbus, and they play differently over there. They got the cannons firing this Saturday. There's probably gonna be a lot of.
I think they took away the cannons.
No, I saw them last night.
They did.
I'm pretty sure I saw them. I was watching the highlights.
They have cannons.
I thought they announced they removed the cannons.
Oh, I like cannons. Team cannons.
And it was because of their goaltender. Because Merzlikins was with why can't I remember the guy's name? Their 3rd string goaltender that died in the fireworks accident, and the cannons kept reminding him of the fireworks where one of his best friends died.
So there was like PTSD. He's like skating, and all of a sudden he has a seizure or something.
No, I was surprised. It really messed with him mentally. He had his worst career season last year.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. I was watching the highlights with the Nashville game because
I didn't think they kept the Cannons. My bad.
I mean, I don't know. Just where the NHL does the highlight clips, I could be wrong too. But I was just surprised to see Columbus beat Nashville, and I know Nashville's kind of tanking in a weird way. They've only beat the Sharks, and Nashville is this team that they have a pretty high over under for their point totals for the season. They're
I was
supposed
high
to
on them heading into the year. I
yeah,
have
so
them
they're
ticket to win the Central, and that's not going to hit.
so I almost got to give a little credit to the Blue Jackets rather than maybe Nashville being bad. That could be the Blue Jackets being good. I mean, they got a really sharp young team. Players of the likes of Boquist, Bean, he scored. Gaudreau obviously bringing in Cole Sillinger, Johnson. I mean, Voracek had the game-winning assist. Setting up that game winner. So like this team is good, and there's a way like with props now to become. You could back the Penguins without taking them on the money line or taking them in reg or taking them on the puck line. So one player that I got last game, Ricard Raquel. He's getting top line minutes, and he had they're laying his 2.5 shots right around plus money. So that's kind of what I look for. Markets love Gensel, Rust, Crosby props, obviously. So yeah, the Malkin props. So those are always good. I just take a look at who's been kind of leading the team right now. Number one actually on the team right now in shots is Malkin. Yeah. Followed by Gensel, Raquel, Crosby, and Rust. So, I mean, those are the people I would target for props. And then with regards to the side, I mean, I think I would play this as a Columbus team total over 2.5. It's a little juiced, minus 140, which is a little high for people, but if you don't want to think about win or lose, but you think Columbus is going to get some goals, that could be a good way to approach this game. So yeah, that's what I'd like. I think it's just impressive to come off two big wins without your star and Line way. So I like Columbus here.
So do we attribute the fact that the Penguins aren't conceding? Let me go back to that again. They're only conceding 2 goals a game. Do we contribute that to their defense and their goaltending, or do we contribute that more to the teams that they've played?
I think the teams they've played.
Okay.
Because Jari he's okay. He's good enough, but he's not elite, Yeah.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. All right. Stars and Canadiens. 3-0-1 the Stars. 3-2 and 0 are the Canadiens. Dallas is a minus 165 money line favorite. Puck line, Dallas minus a goal and a half at plus 158. And Montreal at plus a goal and a half at minus 175. No thoughts. I thought there was at one point, I had one of my plays was the Stars team total over. It looked good. I don't know why I haven't broken this game down. Something must not have looked right. The other thing too is, haven't Montreal is supposed to be playing better than they have, or are they really not a great team? I thought they were kind of a middle of the road.
They're rebuilding right now. They have some really good forward talent, but they're rebuilding at the moment.
Okay, well, go ahead because I have nothing.
I didn't bet anything in this game. I think I was leaning the Stars, if I'm not mistaken. I would have to look at the Panthers 2-1. By the way, they just scored. But I was leading Stars in this matchup. Stars have looked pretty decent to start off the year. Montreal is coming in off of back-to-back wins. They beat Arizona and then they beat Pittsburgh. If you're looking for props, there's always one player that I'm looking at for props, and unfortunately, this is not in Montreal. He usually plays much better in Montreal, and I think Occupancy knows who I'm talking about. He scores more in Montreal, and that would be Caulfield. Caulfield is always someone that I'm looking to target.
Holden Caulfield?
Cole Caulfield. He's one of their young studs for Montreal, and he would be one of the only players I would look at for props in this game. but this one was a pretty easy stay off for me. I have not
Was that
been able. I don't know how to read the Stars this year.
Was that a Catcher in the Rye reference? Dave?
Obviously, one of the best books ever.
Love that one.
Yeah, mandatory. It used to be a mandatory read
3-1 Phillies
in high school. I don't know. Education now is awful. It's all online and it's all. I don't want to get into that. We'll start getting political. But yeah, Holden Caulfield, Catcher in the Rye, J.D. Salinger. If you've never read it, go read it. What are you doing if you've never read it?
Yeah.
But go ahead. You're up.
I am very high on the Stars team. Like too much. I was convinced they were going to win in Toronto. Ottinger didn't get the start. Wedgwood still played great. They had a 1-1 game, went down 2-1 in the third, and then tied it up, and then lost in OT. I had a +1.5 running with them, so I didn't lose terribly, but I thought that +150 was such a good number. But then talking to some people like Toronto, that would have just the media would have blown up again if they had lost after the Yotes loss. So I guess that's what happens sometimes. But I'm looking to back the Stars team. Props. I gotta think they're gonna hang some low numbers. I haven't checked actually. I haven't really bet their props yet. But I mean, I'm just looking down the list. Mason Marchment, remember him? I mean, he's shining now.
I went to high school with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he was in algebra with me. Yeah. PE. We played volleyball together. He's lighting it up. He's 3 goals in 4 games, 3 assists in 4 games. Just Jason Robertson, 15 shots in 4 games. I mean, these are just they're a good team here. I might even lay -165 tomorrow, depending on how tonight goes. I mean, that is 20 cents, 25 cents above what I'd like to lay. But if things go well tonight, I just maybe don't want to have to think about a score for once and a total and an over-under. And maybe I just want to pick a team sometimes, and then, risk the 1.65 units to win one. I mean, that's kind of, I especially if it's Ottinger after some rest, I'd be leaning Dallas to win outright.
Different strategies. It's just funny. You could, never mind. Is there booze in that?
No, it's just
brisk. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, there are people that I know that lay -165, -175, and they're winning. People I'd consider winning cappers. I don't think that's, you can do that all the time or even the majority of the time. But if you do feel confident a team's going to win, I mean, it's just a different strategy.
It's not a winning strategy over time.
It depends.
No, I'll rephrase that. If you do that more than once in a while, it's not a good idea. But if it's once in a while, it's not a horrible idea. I just don't do it.
You can also think about it this way. It depends. It also depends on your risk tolerance. How much you're willing to risk to win one unit. But if you're someone like me who prices games out, like you me, we index games and stuff like that. Yeah. If we see an edge on something where we think that like a football team shouldn't be -5, they should be -8.5, maybe -10 or something like that. And really, when you cap that out, -8.5 should be around -350. And they're like,
there's a chart you can look up, but yeah, that's right.
Yeah. If you see there's value in a line, even if it's -200, personally, I don't bet that because I mean, I try to get plus money on my stuff like that. I try to go for that stuff. But if for some people, depending on your risk tolerance, some people are willing to lay that type of juice. If you think a team should be -300 and they're sitting at -215.
Yeah, like I said, there are ways around it. It's just as a general rule, it's not good.
And it's no disrespect on the Canadians, to be honest, because they are coming off 2 wins, right?
Yeah.
So it's no disrespect to them, really. I think it's just one of these things where when a hockey team is playing well, it's different than any other sport. Like they can go just win three, like these 3-game winning streaks in the NHL are like, I got to look into it more. I want to like do some data digging like on last year's stats and look at like how many times teams have won 3 games in a row, and that's always an interesting look. I honestly thought Dallas was going to go on a crazy run, and they still might. Like I don't know. They have a new coach in there. Jake Ottinger is really good. I like that. I like this team.
Cool. Well, let's move on to the next game. Islanders and Lightning. Islanders are 2-2. Lightning are 1-3. I guess that's kind of surprising. They're supposed to be a good team. Didn't they go to the finals or the semifinals last year?
Yeah, one thing you got to question is how much they care early in the season, because they have made 3 straight Stanley Cups. So all they really need to do is make it to the playoffs.
They did. Yeah, it was them and the
Avalanche.
Yeah.
No, but like motivation wise, like how much do they care this early in the season?
You got, I guess. I mean, I don't know if hockey's a team where you can not care in the beginning of the season. I mean, I don't know, but 82 games. It is kind of like, I guess it is kind of like basketball, and teams are that way too. Like the Lakers when they were good, a lot of times. I mean, some years they'd blow people out, but some years they'd kind of sandbag.
Yeah,
anyway.
They get like Pacioretty sitting on the bench for the Canes. Like
he's hurt though. He
has
hurt. An injury.
He does.
Like he's out for a few months. Like he had surgery.
Yeah.
So we got what do we got? Lightning -165. They must think it's going to be a low scoring game. Maybe aren't the Lightning playing today? They are.
Yes.
We're betting them. So on a back-to-back, Vaseline's not going to be playing. It's going to be their backup guy, right?
It's going to most likely be Elliott, correct?
Okay. So 6 is the total. And let's get the puck line real quick. What the puck is the puck line? There it is. Islanders +1.5, -164. Tampa Bay -1.5. Let's expand that. And of course, it messes it up every time I do that. Where are you? They have a -1 at -103. I don't like that. -1.5 at +145. No opinion on this. We have plays in the Lightning game tonight, but I guess I need to I guess I need to test that theory. Maybe it's a good time to do that. Where a team, granted the line stinks, the odds are you're always going to get better odds or worse odds depending upon what side you're on, because the backup goalie's in. And the theory is that the backup goalie usually isn't a far step off from. I mean, Vasilevsky would be a different story because he's one of the best. But there are teams, I guess, that have, on a scale of 1 to 10, one might be a 7, one might be a 6.5. So I want to test that theory. That's something by the first third of the season I'm going to do. And there's a term for it. I need to pull it up. But probably wouldn't be the best now because of it is a big step off from Vasilevsky for sure. It has to be. But you have anything in this game? I mean, you're an Islanders fan, right?
Yeah, I have both a side and a total for this game, actually. I like the Islanders and I like the over. And with you saying that, yes, some goalies may be a 7 and the backup's a 6.5. I think there's only probably one other goalie tandem that I think is a bigger drop-off than Vasilevsky to Elliott, and that may be Shesterkin to Halak. That may be the biggest drop-off in hockey. Whenever Elliott's in net, I generally want to go against the Lightning. Not that Elliott's a bad goaltender per se, but you're going to get a good price for the other team, I think, in that spot, because it's still the Tampa Bay Lightning. I got +141 with the Islanders, and I got over 6 at -115. So really, it's a glorified team total over 3 the way I bet it, but I bet both those plays. So as long as the Islanders get 3, I'm guaranteed at least a +141 or the over 6. If the over 6 hits, then and the Islanders don't, I'll break even. It is what it is. But I think this is a game that the Islanders should step up after getting embarrassed against New Jersey. This is a bad situational spot for the Lightning. We saw what happened last time. It was a back-to-back, and Elliott played. They got smoked 6-2 by the Penguins. So I could think something similar along those lines could happen again in this game. I'm on the Islanders. I'm on the over 6.
By the way, I took the Pelicans Hornets last night over at 230, and the line dropped the total dropped to 226.5. So it was one of the rare occasions that I had horrible CLV, and it's 121 to 110 with 55 seconds left to hit, and it's going to soar over. So
hell yeah.
I wondered why. I mean, those teams, the first game of the season, those teams scored 120 or 130 points each. It was crazy. They're teams that don't play defense. I wondered why. There was no injuries. I wondered why they went down. But anyways, and I'm high on the Pelicans. Zion's back. It looks like the Pelicans would be the real deal.
Yes, I agree with that.
I'm not high on B. Ingram, but he's a decent player. They got that Alvarado, who's he's still on their team, I think, isn't he? That little
yes. He was fun to watch last year.
Yeah, and then
I like his little sneak attacks.
And he's a fiery player. And then McCollum, and now they got Zion. So they're really all they're missing is that Valanciunas, but he's not a real like dominant big. But anyway, we'll talk about NBA later. So we hit that bet. All right, next game. Scroll down. The Kings and the Capitals. 3-3 are the Kings. Capitals are 2-3. Washington is a favorite, -135 at home. Totals at 6.5. The puck line is it's just such not. It's in completely different order on covers. Puck line Kings +1.5 at -200, and Washington is -1.5 at +175. So it looks like, based on the odds, it's supposed to be a 1-goal game. Looks like it. Because you got really bad odds on both sides of taking a puck line, but you can just, and that's just me being able to read it from baseball. Usually, when you have a really high favorite on a really big plus money for a favorite and a big a real heavily juiced plus 1.5 run lines, that's basically saying, hey, this is going to be a actually, no, it's not. It's the other way around, isn't it? This is saying that. No, that's right. Yeah, the thing is going to be a one-goal game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyways, take it away.
What's the line on this one now? I remember it dropped.
-165 is what it's showing on ESPN. But the reason why I'm saying ESPN is I'm on covers. They don't put all the odds in one place.
That's not even remotely close. The Capitals are -125.
Okay,
yeah, I'm saying -135.
Why does
Yeah, this line
moved. No. I was looking at Islanders Lightning -135. You're right, -135, and it's 6.5.
This line's moved since I've bet it. I got it at +129. I took the Kings money line, and it's now dropped 15 cents. I love betting my stuff early and beating line movements like this. It makes me feel like I'm doing something right, even if I lose the plays. It gives me a little bit of hope. But I'm on the Kings in this one, and it's the last game of a road trip, which is a tough spot for the Kings. But this would be an easy capital spot if 3-2 Phillies. This would be an easy capital spot if the Kings didn't just lose 6-1 to the Penguins. And I'm not particularly high on this capital, or I am high on this Capitals team. I don't like the way they're playing right now. And this Kings team has actually been pretty interesting. So I took a shot with them here on the last game of their road trip, fading Washington here a little bit, taking the Kings at +129. Where did I have this at? I think I had the Kings as should be a slight favorite in this game. Yeah, I had the Kings as a slight favorite in this game rather than a dog. So I took a shot with LA here.
Yeah, I liked what I've seen of the Kings. They pass the eye test. They just don't shoot the puck as much as they should. They like to put these real good, nice set plays together. And
which is weird because last year they were a huge volume shooting team.
Maybe it'll change. Occupancy. Any thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I agree with Nick. Fading the Washington Capitals is like telling like a longtime friend, like not really interested in hanging out with them anymore. They've just known him for 10 years, 15 years in this Ovechkin era, Backstrom era, Carlson era. I mean, this is a great team. But when we cap this season, if I bet it, I might think the Capitals might miss the playoffs. When you had the Islanders and the Blue Jackets on the outside looking in last year, and whose spot were they going to take? It really could be the Capitals here. But it's hard to say that to the public. And obviously, if they're still being minus favorites, then there's a reason why. But the Kings on the other side, I think have had a great road trip after really crummy losses to start the season at the Staples Center. Would they change it to Crypto.com Arena or
Crypto.com.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always Staples Center. It's always Staples Center.
You guys know
just
what I'm saying.
just like the Honda Center, which has been the Honda Center for a long time, where the Ducks play, will always be the Arrowhead Pond. Arrowhead Water, which is now Nestle Water, is one of my customers in a different job that I have. It'd always be the freaking Arrowhead Pond. Anyways, go ahead.
There we go. Love it. No, I mean, hockey is life, but there's also life around hockey. So the Kings, like, they're an interesting team, and I just don't think the Capitals are going to pull it off. But one thing I just wanted to say about capping hockey is we haven't really talked about it a lot, but the goalies are really important. I mean, it's not quite as important like about the pitchers in baseball during the regular season, but it's almost up there. And I know the Capitals have Charlie Lindgren, and then Zach Vucali up from Hershey. He comes up sometimes and plays. So if I knew it was one of them instead of Kemper, because I believe he got the start in Ottawa. Let's check that real quick. Yeah, he did. So I don't know if they're going to go to Lindgren or Fucali or someone else. But if we see, and Lindgren played well, I think he had over 30 saves too. I think he was in the Toronto game. He played in the Toronto game, right? Yeah, he did. I just pulled that up. So, it is what it is. But I'm not going to lay really any type of juice with Washington. If anything, I'll be betting Washington, on if Boston, Boston and Washington always play each other on a back-to-back sometimes. Then you get a plus price for Washington. Sometimes I like to take shots with those. But I'm not really going to lay a price with Washington here. It's not going to happen. So it'd be Kings or nothing, but then props for sure. I'd be looking at, Trevor Moore, Dursey, Kempe, Kopitar. These guys are just always firing. Deneau, over half a point, has always been a go-to of mine. He can win clutch faceoffs for like longer-term fantasy players. These are just players that you're going to want to get Kings players on your radar because they're a fun team and they got talent. So definitely lean the Kings here.
Yeah, like I said, I like the way they look when they play, but that doesn't mean that they're, I don't know, maybe they're just in a funk, but just seems like if they shot more, they'd have a chance in that game versus the Golden Knights. But all right, on to the next game, going north of the border, Maple Leafs with an F, which as we know is correct grammar for proper noun, and the Winnipeg Jets. Toronto is a minus 155 money line favorite. Totals at 6.5. The puck line is Toronto minus 1.5 at plus 165, and the Jets at plus 1.5 at minus 180 is the best. I have no opinion on either team. I haven't watched. I know historically the Leafs story. I don't know much about the Jets. I'm thinking who Hollaback? What team is he on? Is he on the Jets?
He's on the Jets.
Hellebuck. Okay,
Yeah.
So that's what I do know about him. They have a good goalie, so I do know one thing about him. That's why I'm. By the way, people that are watching, if you're watching and haven't done so, hit the like and subscribe on both channels, ESB and Picks from Dave. I should do that more often, because all you got to do is ask. It's not, don't do it or do it, but if you want to do it and you're, not a butthead, do it. But I'm here to learn too, hockey. I'm selfishly kind of doing this too, so I can learn. But I think other people too. It gives them a place to watch hockey capping, because I would say that there is that, but there's a lot more football and basketball and baseball capping on YouTube, at least in the circles that I run in. That's probably because I don't run in the hockey circles. But hockey is, first of all, it's fantastic to watch. Second of all, it seems like with baseball that there's edges. There's probably there's more edges in NHL, I'm thinking, than in NFL football. But it has to be. NFL football is the hardest sport to win money at, because it's it's the most popular sport that's bet on, at least in America, probably the world too, even though soccer is more, a bigger sport. But the books are so Right, with their edges. I mean, look at the lines and look where the games end, and they're always around it. There's hardly any blowouts in the NFL. But anyways, get back to the game. Nick, Maple Leafs with an F, and the Winnipeg Jets.
This one was a game I didn't get involved with. I was leaning Maple Leafs. If I had to get to the game, you'd have to puck line it because they are a little bit juicy. Minus 145. So I would lean towards that. If you want to play them on the -1 line, that's not a bad look either. Well, they're minus 165 and plus 145. So that'd be minus 108 on the -1 line, which is not a bad look. That's where I would lean in this one. But this is not one I bet.
Occupancy, any thoughts?
Yeah, I was going through a tailspin last year. I'm looking at their last head-to-head, and the Leafs won 7-3, and the Jets won 6-3 in their last 2 games. So trying to cap these teams is sometimes really weird. In my first season, I would always be looking to take these Jets at these short lines, like plus 120s, plus 130s. I was always taking the Jets anytime I saw that. And time in and time out, I was let down, and my bankroll was just declining and declining every time. So I'm done with it. Like I'm turning a new leaf, pun intended.
I need more drops.
This Leafs team, I mean, they are what they are. I mean, we all know, but I will talk about Samsonov's game logs. So the way he played in Washington, yeah, agreed on the NFL lines too. It's very hard to make money there. I stepped in the ring in the last few weeks, and I think it was the only losing play I gave out on Dave's show is NFL lines. So they're hard. I'm looking to get in with you guys though on some plays. But this guy Ilya Samsonov from Magnitogorsk in Russia, he's just an interesting dude. He smokes mids. But his game logs are so funny. He's let up 2 goals in every game, right? And he's got a 923 to a 929 save percentage in all games. He's got 26, 28 saves. Like, they brought him in probably so calculated. They were like, if this dude gives us more 2-goal games than 3-goal games, we have a shot to go far. And I know they were trying to split time with him and Matt Murray, and he went down with an injury early, so it's going to be his crease now. They pulled up Calgren. And he got to start, so I got to check the starting lineups. But if we get Samsonov, in terms of that, like, how do I get in this game? Used to bet the Jets money line. It'll be Toronto and Reg, plus 105, respectable bet. I think the Leafs team actually had a pretty good win against Dallas. I think they bounced back, and even if they didn't blow them out, you know, maybe these Leafs blowout games, like we saw some with like Detroit last year, these crazy high scoring goal games. Maybe they don't need to do that every game. I'm sure they will, but and then this could be, as we see with prior history with the Jets. So I'd have to be leaning over. So, you know, obviously when the games tonight, you know, close out, and then, you know, we see what the bankroll's looking like, be looking towards Toronto Reg and over.
Cool. We got 4 more games. The Flyers and the Predators. With this, the thing, the Flyers are supposed to be a bad team. They're 3-1. I wish I would have bet on them. I had weird inklings about. You would basically, if you bet the Flyers, you're up quite a bit because they're getting crazy disrespectful lines, which actually might be deserved later on. But they're 3-1. Who did they play? That's what I wanted to see. Let's pull that up.
Devils, Canucks,
Lightning,
and the Panthers.
So like three maybe mids and 1 good team.
Panthers are a good team, and the Lightning are a good team.
Okay, and the Canucks are like a middle, and they're both like middle.
Better, yeah. Okay. And the Devils have an opportunity to be a really good team this year.
Okay, so point being is they've. It's not a fluky. Well, it could be fluky, but it's not for playing a bad schedule. They played a good schedule. The Predators are 2-3-1. Nashville, again, Nashville's a minus 205 favorite. So you're getting, if you like the Flyers, you're getting good odds. Obviously, I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. The total's at 6, and The puck line is Philadelphia plus 1.5 at minus 144, and Nashville minus 1.5 at plus 130. I have no opinion. The Flyers are catching my eye just because they're supposed to be a bad team, and they're not looking like they're a bad team. Let's look at what they're how they're scoring. Do I have that up? Let's see. Oh, the Flyers. They're only giving up 2.5 goals a game, so that's probably way better than expected. I don't know anything about their goalie, but I know that's on the better half of.
They have a decent young goaltender. He has talent. He's had good seasons in the past. The last few years have been rough because I feel like they may have rushed him to the NHL, which is the problem. And now it's more mental for him than physical.
So they're scoring 3.5 and they're giving up 2.5. Neither is tops. I mean, they're kind of high to middle, meaning, and why I want to look at that is if it's an aberration, like, oh, they're scoring a lot of goals right now. They're not giving up a lot of goals right now. They're kind of in the middle of the pack, which means they're winning because they're winning. That is how I would cap that or look at that. But and I'll start with occupancy if you have an opinion on this. But I'm going to start looking. Shit, put me on the Flyers, either of you on this if you can. Maybe you're on the complete other side, but I'd love to bet a dog.
Yeah, with this game, you have to bet the Flyers. Like, there's no one's going to lay minus 200 with Nashville unless you're just some rich asshole, like, who's gambling some money that's not even yours.
There's none of those. There's none of those.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, maybe they'll take the Predators, but, like, people who work hard for this and, like, look for line edges, like...
If you're betting your wife's paycheck, bet the Panthers.
Yeah. Oh man, this is I like capping you guys. This is good.
Wednesdays and Fridays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on Nerd Talk.
Right on. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah. Chug your or drink your tea like a moose, like before. You were gulping it down.
I was.
Yeah. The reason why I laughed is I don't want to tell you is you were right up next to your mic and you could do it.
Oh my! Yeah, I forgot how good my microphone can be sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, occupancy. I derailed the conversation.
No, you're good. I would be taking a look to see maybe if you wanted to get Nashville minus 0.5 in the first period. It looks like the Flyers lost 2-1 in the first to the Panthers, and then in their win against Tampa 0-0. So I don't know. I don't play minus 0.5 in the first period too much, but sharps do play that a lot. So look at that. I like Granlund to get a point. I always like Granlund to get a point. That ranges from minus 115 to minus 130. I've seen it minus 145 sometimes if they're playing weaker opponents. But I like that bet. But you gotta be taking the Flyers here on the money line if you're going that way. But this is, Nashville. Oh man, this is almost like sound the alarm. Not quite. And Nick, weren't people talking about John Hines? He's the coach. I think they were talking about him like leaving earlier. I heard someone. There's these hockey
for Nashville.
Sports. Yeah,
I think he's the one that's going to hold this team back.
And weren't you saying like bringing Barry Trotz? Yeah, that was you that was saying it. That's right.
I was saying Trotz for Dallas. That's what I wanted to say.
Nashville, no. Okay.
No, Nashville, no.
Because he knows
Dallas
he's familiar with there. Because he coached there, Trotz did. And I forget where I was.
Started in Nashville. He made a Stanley Cup with Nashville. He won a Stanley Cup with Washington. He made the semifinals back-to-back with the Islanders. He's the best coach in hockey right now, but unfortunately he's not with the team because he's taking a break.
Right. But I'm just saying, I think I was hearing someone saying it, and I don't know. I mean, look, unless it gets really bad in Nashville, because look, I mean, they got a Vezina candidate in Saros. They have really good top liners. They have grit. Kunin, Jeannot. These guys are good. They're good hockey players. But they're just not getting the results right now, and there's probably something wrong. So are they coming back home from that? Or so they are coming back home. Yeah, I don't know if I would get the Flyers. The Flyers are also an interesting team, like the way they put them together. They're a physical team. They're just. I got to look at like hits and like stats, and actually, with just watching them play, it's an interesting like the way the bruisers and kind of agitators. I feel like that team is full of like agitators.
Do they have an enforcer?
Yeah, I mean, well, kinda. I mean, some Bristol anymore. I mean, he would throw down if he had to. Big dude, defense.
I think it would be Tony D'Angelo, the way his
Tony
personality
D'Angelo,
is.
He's the agitator.
He's just a locker room cancer, though. That's the problem with talent.
Yeah. So it's an interesting matchup.
I got into this thing too late because I remember like that like back in the day when there was like that 6'5" defenseman that never scored a goal and he was missing like 5 teeth. And the only reason, he was the only guy back in the day. There was you were grandfathered in for helmets, but before that, you were grandfathered in for having a face shield. You used to not have to have a face shield, and the guys that had face shields were considered pussies and all that. But it was a dude that thought that obviously that would take his helmet off if he could. Like I want to see that. That was fun. The first hockey game I ever went to, there was a fight right in front of me. We went over that story. Oh, I didn't even say that part of the story,
No, because you were just saying how you were fucking with the people in the penalty box.
Yeah, we were fucking with the guys in the penalty box.
And got a puck for it.
And I told you the guy came by that was in the penalty box, got a bunch of that sludgy ice, and tried to flick it on us over the glass. Did I tell you that too?
Yes.
He did that too. But there was a fight right in front of us, and there was a hat trick. I mean, how could you ever – okay, talk about yourself. Talk about like – the Vegas Knights syndrome, going to the like it's all downhill from there, right? They go to the Stanley Cup the first year, and expectations are
the greatest experience now.
Yeah, you're sitting on the glass. All this crazy stuff happens. You're a 17-year-old kid. I mean, what could be better? And by the way, we weren't even like doing anything. We were completely sober. Like it was just fun. I'll never hockey. Yeah, well, yeah, you can have. Anyway. Hockey will never be the same for me. I got spoiled my first time. It's like having sex with Pamela Anderson the first time, or who's the girl now. I don't even know.
Probably some Instagram model.
Yeah, I don't know, Kylie Jenner or something. I don't know.
Who knows?
Anyways, yeah, who knows? You didn't talk about the Predators, did you?
I did not.
Hashtag me too.
This was one of the games that I made a move on that I did not beat the line movement on. I got plus 164 with said Philadelphia Flyers. I've been on the Flyers every game except for I didn't bet them against Vancouver. I had a strong lean towards them against Vancouver. Athanasiou goal for the Blackhawks. It's now 2-1.
Nice. I had him as a goal prop.
Oh, you have Athanasiou as a goal prop? Hell yeah.
What was that? Like what's a goal prop? Is it like football where it's like plus 115 or it's bad? It's
some of them are really good.
His was pull it up. He got had him plus 250.
Had to be 2 something, right?
250
something.
Wow.
350.
10 bucks.
Some defensemen.
350.
Yeah, you can get some defensemen that they don't score all the time, but when they do, you can hit 7-1 tickets on them for goal scorer props. Like I've hit a few of those before. But yeah, I'm on the Flyers. I've been backing them a lot. And one thing that I'm really buying into, at least for the beginning of the season, is John Tortorella being the new head coach for Philly. And they're buying into the Tortorella system right now, which is getting the most out of a very non-talented lineup. Because they have some pieces, but this is not a top-of-the-line lineup. I still think the Flyers finished probably 7th or 8th in the Metro Division. Like, I don't think they're very good. I am on the Flyers, though, until the wheels fall off, kind of. And I'm going to be back in here in this one. I got it at plus 164. You can get it for plus 180 now.
I might want to put a half a unit on that. Here's the problem with that. I'm probably late to you don't want to jump on the train too late because you'll miss it. You'll fall off and break your neck. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, on to the next game. 3 more games. Hurricanes and the Flames of Calgary, both 3-1 teams. Calgary is minus 130 on the money line. 6 is the total. The puck line is, there they are. The puck line is Carolina plus 1.5 at minus 225. Yikes. And the Flames minus 1.5 at plus 190. You can also get minus 1 at plus 120. Don't know that strategy. Know that strategy in baseball. Don't do it. But anyway, do we want to bring Tim on, or we want to make him sit back backstage the whole time?
His game's on the slate coming up.
Oh, is it? Oh, it is. You're right. So we
Yeah.
should make him sit back there.
No,
Just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Since Tim's here and since he has an intro, we might as well play it.
Timmer! Level out, come on!
I'm gonna make a longer one because there's a bunch of Timmy South Park stuff. I'm gonna make one that's like 30 seconds long.
Oh, fun. There you go.
All right, we're talking hockey.
God.
If you have any hockey thoughts, maybe we can just add them, but you probably don't.
I have not even looked at tomorrow's slate yet, besides thinking of what my best bet will be.
Oh, your Timmy bet of the day.
Yeah.
Or
Tonight's the Blackhawk, the Red Wings puck line. So
Okay. Well, that just became a little more difficult because my Blackhawks scored.
yeah, I'm not worried. Once you get into the third period and they're up, normally there's an empty net, and that's.
Well, I'm for sure not winning the bet. It's not. I mean.
Oh yeah. You're good.
All right. So, Hurricanes and Flames. Now that we get interrupted. We just started this, right? So, Tim, you
Yes,
can,
we just
Nick, you can
started
go.
this one.
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah,
See, I derail myself in my mind with all my stupid shenanigans. We're actually a serious capping show, but sometimes
We are? Shit. Yeah, no. I lean Carolina. Did not bet it. I think this game could be an under. I would lean under 6. I think it's a 6, and whenever everything else is a 6.5. So I think that's telling you everything you need to know. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I did not place a bet on it. So the games I'm not betting, I'm not going to waste people's time with blabbering.
Occupancy, anything?
Yeah. People who beat line movements on Thursday got Carolina at plus 100 around. I got minus 105, but I had a half unit on it, and it was a worthy shot. I think playing a high-scoring game, they almost came back. They were down by 1 late in the third with Edmonton. But it's going to be the same thing for me tomorrow. The way I look at Calgary's form, they played 3 really tough games, and they won all of them. They beat Colorado 5-3. They beat the Oilers 4-3, and then they beat the Knights 3-2. So I think they put out a lot.
And then they had a letdown against a really bad team.
Right. And I think, yeah. I mean, but I don't put Buffalo's a bad team, but they did lose to Buffalo, and I think that kind of again, you look for these streaks, like these first 9 games, and maybe Calgary was going to go 8-1, 7-2, which I still think they could. But Carolina, I'm going to look to back off a loss. I mean, I got to jump into some of those deeper trends with last year and how they do off a loss. But they seem to me like a team that's probably not going to lose 2 in a row. They're probably coming up at the end of the road trip as well. I have to look at their schedule moving forward, but I can only imagine they've been out west for a while. And they're a really solid team. If we get Freddie Anderson in net, I'm seeing plus 115 for Carolina straight up. That's the way I'd be looking at this game.
Sweet. On to the next game. There's that letdown team, the Sabres and the Canucks. By the way, the Sabres are 3-1. Holy shit.
Yep.
And the Canucks are 0-3-2. I don't know if that's a surprise or not, but I know some of you guys have been betting the Canucks and getting smashed, which obviously the only way you'd bet them is if you were betting them to lose. Well, actually, you can't be betting on a team to lose. You bet the other team. So anyway, Vancouver is the favorite, though. The winless team against a 3-1 team, minus 170. 6.5 is the total. And the puck line, Buffalo plus 1.5 at minus 172. Vancouver at minus 1.5 at plus 155. Nick, go ahead. I have zero opinions on either of these except for that must mean the Buffalo's really bad.
Yeah, this is Vancouver or nothing for me. This could be a letdown spot for Buffalo coming in off of 2 big wins against 2 very quality opponents in Edmonton and in Calgary. So this would be a lean towards taking Vancouver. Vancouver, yeah, they're 0-3-1. They've led in all 5 games, and they were all on the road. So this is probably a spot where I'm going to look to take Vancouver. If I'm going to, I lean that way. I did not bet it yet. Lean the Canucks puck line, but no play.
Crystal likes the Sabres in the first period over 2. Crystal and Tim must be best friends. But go at Tim. I mean, you haven't looked at the slate. Do you have anything funny to say, or like
I'm
anything
going
to contribute at all?
For the Sabres game, I'm going to continue me betting the Sabres every single day, and I'm going to be profitable. So far, it's 3-1. They were plus 110 versus Ottawa. They were plus money versus Florida when they lost. They were plus 180 something against Edmonton and plus 230 versus the Calgary Flames. I'm up a chunk of money because of the Sabres, and I'm just going to keep betting them each day because it's going to be profitable come the end of the season. Even if it's only 5-6 units, they will be a profitable team. If not, I think they could be the most profitable team because they're still going to be undervalued a lot. They're a very young team, and they're going to be dogs a lot. There's going to be very few games, maybe against like your Blackhawks or the Coyotes or like the crappy teams. That's the only time the Sabres are going to get favorited. So unless like a couple home games against mediocre teams, but they're going to be dogs a lot. I'm going to bet them, and if they finish around 500, I'm good to go.
Yep, and maybe I should have listened to you when picking an experiment team. But Nathan, by the way, we're going to do right after this. We're going to do NBA, and then we're going to do college football. If you're late, I'm sorry. We kind of flip flop things around. I might consider doing it. Actually, I think hockey's always going to come first now because of the cappers and coming on. But this show's an experiment too. But play the playback. I've got a lot. What we're going to do, just a little go ahead, is I haven't capped the games except for indexing them, but I have 10 looks I like. And I want to actually break them down a little bit. So we'll do that in a bit. But that's that. Let's bring on another capper. He can sit here for the last NHL game and watch. Maybe he might have something to say, but everyone's favorite poopy capper. 1, 2, 3.
Holy fuck. Look at this guy's mustache. What a god.
I was going to say, dude, have you been on with occupancy before?
I have not.
Oh, I thought you had. Yeah, he had a beard before.
He's got a nice porn stash.
I mean, wow. Reno 911, baby.
That is hot. I need to shave my beard and get to his status. Damn.
Yeah. I don't know. That's pretty prolific. I don't know if any of us could do that.
I know.
All right. So, occupancy, you are next or last. Save the best for last for this game. What game are we talking about? The Sabres. Duh.
Sabres game.
Yep. Yeah. Sabres and the Canucks. Go ahead.
I'll be pretty brief. I think when you look at like hockey towns, Buffalo and their GM and all the department there picked up this guy named Eric Comrie, okay? And what team was he on last year? Anyone know? It was the Winnipeg Jets. So he's seen all these teams. He's played in Calgary. He's played in Edmonton. He's played in Vancouver. He knows these teams. He's pretty good, honestly. He's getting wins like early in the season with Buffalo here. I'm going to take a shot with Buffalo tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do a full unit on the money line. I think I like to split it up with a team total over 2.5, just to keep it a little bit safer. If we get like a 4-3 game or something, I'm not worried about an overtime loss. I like to split it up a little bit. And I'd be looking at player props as well with the Buffalo Sabres. Rasmus Dahlin, I believe he set a record the other night. I saw a little bit of a highlight there.
Yep.
He's firing the puck. Yeah. And his shot props are pretty low. The books, can give you a good price. I always be looking at Tage Thompson anytime goal, Tuck anytime goal. Yoki Haru, he's been shooting a little bit.
Is Yoki Haru back in the lineup?
Nah, he's italicized right now, but I don't know if he's going to be coming in. There's a big game. They really need him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I'd be looking at Georgensen's Owen Power, Olofsson also. These are just is a good team, and Vancouver. I mean, they're minus 170 favorites after kind of what their start is. Like they need to turn it around eventually. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow
They're
against the
desperate,
Sabres
yeah.
team. Yeah, against the Sabres team who's just had 2 huge wins against big market teams. I think
Playing with house money.
Yeah.
So, Hammer Poop, you want to talk about the Sabres or Canucks? Or you just want to sit there and look pretty?
No, I'm not a hockey dad quite yet. Besides complete scum, I'm watching this.
This is kind of a scum game, but anyways.
I'm guessing you're loving the Detroit game tonight.
Dad, I wanted to ask my dad Tim if he's on. If you guys booked the Nugs with me, and we're gonna
Oh,
fade.
you already know. I have their money line locked in. We have +6, and it dropped to a 4.5.
Brooklyn covered for you there, Tim.
Yeah,
Okay.
finally a win today. But anyways, no,
What is it
well,
at- what's the money line at
all
right
over
now?
My Nugs.
I sprinkled money line with you too and the spread. Yeah.
What's the money line right now?
It's a +175, and to prove this is not a bandwagon because let's see. Anybody remember Mr. Ty Lawson?
Of course.
North Carolina or no?
Yes, UNC.
Yeah, North
He
Carolina.
was part of the 2009 UNC national champions.
Hansborough and Danny Green.
I was going to say Hansborough.
Yes,
and
sir.
That was like the first college basketball team I truly followed.
Really?
Was that North Carolina Tar Heels team in 08.
Wow. Do you guys know who Ged Zurich is?
No.
Hammer Poop, you know who that is from being from LA?
Oh fuck yeah, get Zurich. Yeah.
Yeah, and who was Capono? When I was a freshman, I went to UCLA at the Poly Pavilion and watched that team. Byron Davis was on that team, wasn't he?
Did he went to UCLA, right?
Yeah. Was he on that team during those years? Let's look.
I think he's older.
Rush. No, he was 1979. No, he was there during that. Yeah, unless he was one and done. He went to UCLA.
Ookla.
That was his last. He went in the 1999 draft. So my freshman year, I watched. He was on that team. It was Ged Zurich. Capono was a freshman. Byron Scott was there. Rush. I forget the guy's first name. Anyways, that was the first team I watched. That was a long time ago. Should we bet we have one more hockey game, which I actually have I have multiple plays in.
I like that game. Yeah.
Yeah. Nuggets, Warriors, man, oh man, this could be is plus 175 just sounds like so much value on a team that I think's probably the second best team in the West.
I would still pick Denver to win the West.
Warriors are the best team in basketball. Sorry to tell you.
Value-wise to win the West.
That's why I always said
who's a better team than the Nuggets besides the Warriors in the West? The Clippers are contending maybe because they're so deep. But you have Joker
the upside.
Nah, I think the Nuggets are. I think you know what? I'm gonna talk about this game. How much time do I have?
Well, we'll be able to talk about the Nuggets during the NBA segment because I can
bet them live too. But I'm gonna see if I can throw.
Why the Jazz have like a 20-something win total, and they're like fucking. They just destroyed the Nugs, and now they're hanging with the T-Wolves. Maybe
that was frustrating. Yeah, I have the T-Wolves.
Wrong, or they're way overachieving.
Aha! Plus 180. I threw in a bet, full unit on it.
Nice. Oh wow.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
Didn't take the points, Dad?
No, because plus 180, plus one. By the way, that's a whole fade you thing. Is this dads? Because all of them are dads.
You dad.
Yeah,
Dad.
Kelly's our mom. You're our dad.
But I know the Warriors are good, but the Nuggets aren't that bad. The Nuggets aren't plus 180 dog bad. I'm sorry.
They are on the road, but no, that's the exact thing that I looked at that game, and I'm like, well. This is what we like to call the slaughter game tonight. And do you know what the slaughter game is?
It's when the other team wins handily or whatever, and everyone's on one side.
It's normally when a favorite loses and people take the money line straight up and it kills all their parlays. Golden State's probably on so many parlays tonight, and Denver's about to wreck them.
All right, let's get on to the last hockey game because occupancy probably, even though he's more than welcome to stay, I don't want to alienate it. I'd much rather alienate Hammer Poop and Tim than Occupancy. So the last game, which is
he's a cool dude. Tim,
yeah. Well, no, not cool dude, but Tim's always on the show, and he's here, and he shows up late, but that's okay. He's got a girlfriend, he's got a life. We're just single hermits. We talked about this.
Tim has a life. Wow.
Well, when you have a girlfriend, you have to have it. Their life is your life,
dude. Crack disgusting. Does anybody take Kraken live? What's a Kraken, Dave?
What's a Kraken? What's a flyer? What are all these fucking names? Avalanche Golden Knights. No, you're not.
The Kraken under?
Oh, I thought you were the Avalanche Golden Knights because I'm going to talk about the over for tomorrow.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah. You've got a team that shoots the hell out of the ball versus a team that scores a lot. Actually, both of them are scoring goals. The only thing that kind of scares me is the Golden Knights aren't conceding many goals, but I think they're kind of not that necessarily. I don't know much about their goalie, but they're probably playing above expected value there. But I like in this game, I like the Golden Knights as a side. I like the over, and I like the Golden Knights team total. I don't know where to go. I want to be led somewhere or put off a bet. So Nick, go ahead. What are you thinking?
I'm going to go with the team that I have backed in every game this year. I'm very high on this team. I have tickets for them to win the division, win the conference, win the cup. I have Logan Thompson to win the Calder. I have Jack Eichel to win the MVP. Give me the VGK, the Vegas Golden Knights here. I got him at minus 109. I did a free pick video on them for ESB. I'm giving them out. So spoiler, anybody that's going to be watching that game, watching that free pick video, it's the Vegas Golden Knights.
Screw up your views, why don't you?
Who cares? People are going to watch. But I'm on Vegas on this one. We have Colorado on a second half of a back-to-back, so they're starting. Yeah, you got the ASMR there.
It's too wet to do a nice one.
Yeah, they're starting Francouz tonight, so it's going to be Alexander Georgiev tomorrow for the Avalanche, which he's fine. Those two are about even in my eyes. So if you're looking for not much of a drop-off between two goaltenders, Georgiev and Francouz are not that far off from each other. But I like Vegas, and I don't think it's a great spot for Colorado playing a back-to-back tomorrow.
What do you think about the total?
I don't have a feel towards it, to be completely honest. Let me see what my numbers. These two teams actually kind of split 50-50 for me. I'm on the under in tonight's game. It's 1-0 Kraken.
Logan Thompson is their goalie, right? Is that what you?
Logan Thompson, yeah. I have him to win the Calder, which is Rookie of the Year. I think I got 15-1 for that. I think he's gonna be better than people think he is. So,
well, he's doing a fucking awesome job so far. They're like, what are their goals conceded? They're way at the bottom of the list. Are they at the bottom? Yeah, they're at they're third. 2 goals. He's tied for second best. 2 goals.
He's been good, and I expect him to be. Yeah, he's doing pretty good, and his numbers say that he should regress a little bit, but not too much.
Damn it! So, I give up.
Yeah,
I want that nice.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, no, but I like the Vegas Golden Knights.
The Knights, and no opinion on the total. What about the team totals aren't out, but it'll probably be 3.5, right?
I got a line on the team total. It's plus 100 for 3.5 on BetUS.
I think my favorite bet in it is the money line. I think just based off feel, the next bet would be the team total over and then the total over. But obviously, the thing that scares me, I mean, the only reason why I like the over is because the Avalanche are an offensive team. Obviously, one of the best offensive teams, I guess. But take it away.
2-0 Kraken.
Yeah. So Dave, when you were saying like you're trying to figure out where to get led, Vegas money line. That's where you want to go. I held off this team for the first 4 games. I always look to smash Vegas when I can. And my first Vegas card was last game with the Jets, and they won by margin. This Vegas Golden Knights team is no joke, like Nick was saying. And think about what's going on right now. Colorado's still on the ice, and Vegas is at home, hanging out with their wives and kids, maybe making a meatloaf, maybe drinking a beer, maybe
Watching
not,
this game.
maybe
I love
watching this
meatloaf.
game. Yeah, just doing something. They're hanging out. They're at
I
home.
would do anything. Okay, never mind.
Colorado's have to fly out of here after a Seattle team who is not making it easy for them.
Nothing cracking according to my group chat.
Hockey is 2-0 now, so they're really going to be busting their ass in the third, skating hard in Denver, like lungs, everything, dude. They're going to be busting their ass to win this game at home, and they're going to go fly late night. Hockey is very situational. Knights will smash tomorrow. It's just how you play it. When I'd be looking at player props,
not a bad option if you want to get huge plus money.
So that's another thing. And they know this, but I'm not
That
sure.
sounds like a Tim play.
I'm a handicapper, but I'm a gambler. Like I always go for like tonight, instead of taking, I asked him, should I take the Lightning Panthers -7 at -1, or under 7 at -122, or under 6.5 at +110? I took under 6.5. That's looking pretty good. But
good win on that one. You won the Florida game.
Yeah.
So I have a question. I have a
sure.
question for the group, and I'll probably have to go after this. But like, do you think the line's going to move? Do you think we're going to get Vegas at a plus price at puck drop, or do you think it's going to move the other way?
What has it moved so far? So I mean, we can look and see.
I'm seeing -110 right now, and I don't know where it opened up.
We'll look at the open. I'll pull it up right now.
Holy fuck! Kraken just scored 2 quick. Holy fuck! Should we live wager Avs?
Maybe that's actually probably the look. I don't have an opening. Well, maybe I have to open up the line. Odds. I don't have an opening lineup for some strange reason. I don't know why. I mean, opening line. I don't know. I'm gonna. To be honest with you, now that I think about it, I'm probably betting the puck line, and I'm probably. No, I gotta post it. I'm gonna post. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bet this game, and I'm betting the Golden Knights. Don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Anyway, so that was hockey, ladies and gentlemen. The great American sport of hockey. Occupancy, you're welcome to stick around. We're going to do NBA and then do football after that. We're not going to really dive into it. I'm just basically for NBA, we're going to say, hey, what do you guys like? What are you looking at? I'm not going to break down every game. I'm taking a very simplistic approach to it until we get about 2 weeks of games, 3 weeks of games.
I think I got to take off, Dave. But
plug whatever you want. Plug your Twitter and tell us all about yourself.
Okay. I'll be brief. I'm Occupancy. You can follow me on Twitter at Occupancy. It's with a 0. I love hockey. It's my favorite sport. I love baseball. It's my second favorite sport. I love player props. I love betting. I love hanging out with you guys. Follow me when you can. I'm trying to make a living doing this day in and day out. Grinding on the game logs, grinding on the odds pages. I want to try to support my family by sports gambling. So that's why I'm here. You guys are okay too. I like you guys. But yeah, so to give out some plays for tomorrow.
Yes, 3 plays. 3 plays. Yep.
Yeah, we'll go with Vegas money line at -110 just to get us going. And then work up. Working up. Going
props too. Anything you want.
Well, the props lines don't release till like the morning of.
Okay.
So I don't have those necessarily, but let's go with the Kings +115. I think they're playing hot right now, and the Capitals are kind of on the decline, I think. And I think we'll do 3 hockey plays tonight. Third and final. Oh shit! There's so many good ones here. And
you give out a baseball play. I have almost officially stopped capping baseball.
Oh, I cashed my best bet.
I wish I was with wife so I could ride his mustache.
Well,
what?
Getting his DMs.
I'm gonna be DMing you, Occupancy, you hot fuck.
Bro, let's cap. What sports are you into, Hazmat?
Mostly football
Football.
and basketball. But wait, did you say you're gonna take the Stinky Kings off that 6-0 loss to the Penguins?
Hell yeah.
Dude, the Caps.
6-1 loss. It cashed the over. 6-1 loss.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
catch the
scored
over.
garbage.
Yeah.
So you got a third play. Two. You can just do two if you want. You don't have to deep dive.
I'll do the third one. I'll do Toronto and Reg plus 105. They'll crush the Jets.
Maple Leafs plus 105 in reg.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining. Go make that tofu stir fry you talked about last time.
Exactly.
Or your meatloaf.
All right. See you guys.
All right, dude. See ya. All right.
I will say real quick, beginning of the Denver Nuggets game, Jamal Murray is not playing tonight. Well, they're trying to
Good.
not overdo him because he is coming back from the torn ACL. So it's not load management, it's injury management so that he doesn't tear an ACL again. So he's not in tonight.
Yeah, well,
It's
my
Bruce Brown in his spot. I don't care.
fucked, and I'm playing tonight. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's your ankle though, isn't it?
Achilles, yeah.
Achilles, yeah. All right, so what is the So right now the Nuggets are 5-2. What's the money? The money line is plus 162. So it's still, even with the amount, still bet I got a plus 180. Anyways, I don't know. Whatever.
Well, the Nuggets are already up 5-2. That's a good start.
Yep. Speaking of NBA, we have to talk about the nerds. And we gave out 4 NBA plays on Wednesday. And I liked all but one of them, but they all cashed. 4-0 for NBA. We all nailed the Bucks game. We got Bucks first half. We got Bucks full game plus 4.
Under.
And I had Bucks 76ers. I had the under, which was
I had
that
the
was a
under as
no-brainer
well.
under.
I love that under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then we had the Clippers minus 5.5, which by the way,
Never
Never in doubt.
getting fouled at the end of the game.
Free money.
Never in doubt.
It's not never in doubt.
Never in doubt.
Let's say this. First of all, the Lakers need to blindfold Russ Wilson, gag his fucking big mouth, throw him in a van, take him down to MacArthur Park, kick him out, and put a sign on him that says free.
Russ Wilson? Are you talking
I mean,
about
whatever. Westbrook. No. Russ Wilson can go do his Subway commercials. Russell Westbrook.
Stat line for that game.
0-11 from the
0-11. 0-11. 2 points. You got 2 points off
$40
of
plus
free
million
throws.
dollars a year. You know what, Russ? And by the way, he can't help it. He said, "Oh, I'll be an off the bench player." It's not in his.
It's not in his nature now.
Yeah, no. They need to get rid of him. And what
Immediately.
you watch what happened. They tied the game up. First of all, they were tied at halftime. Then they came. They were down.
As someone who's not a fan of the Lakers, they can keep him as long as they want.
Yeah, of course. Anyways, that's fine. There goes hammer poop. But they came back and tied it up after being down 12 or 15 points and got within range. And then what did they do? Instead of Anthony Davis being a man and playing in the paint, you're not a 3-point shooter, Anthony Davis. You're still a big. You're 7-foot fucking player. Play down low. Russ Wilson was up at the top of the key. The only other stupider play is when Marc Gasol used to do that weird play where he'd go at the top of the key and shoot a 3. He would make more threes than Westbrook would. The Clippers weren't within 10 feet of him when he was shooting threes. They're like, shoot it.
Shoot it all day. You're gonna miss every fucking time.
Oh man. And I didn't think they were gonna win that game.
Not at all.
The fact that the Clippers covered that game, and granted it was a foul that they shouldn't have committed at the end of the game, which is crazy. But they're in deep fucking shit. And Westbrook is taking up everything because that bench has a guy named Matt Ryan on it. Matt Ryan.
I thought you were joking with that.
No, there's a player on the bench for the Lakers called Matt Ryan.
Wow.
Anyways, enough about that game. We'll go to tomorrow. How do I do this? There you go. Oh, the Nuggets 10-11, the Warriors. That's probably a stupid bet. I didn't know Jamal Murray was out. I wouldn't have probably wouldn't.
I don't really think it matters all that much. I still think the fact that this game moved nothing because of it is a big sign.
Yeah. I think it
All right.
moved a point at the end, so it's like, fuck that. Fade that fucking injury report.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I remember yesterday we were talking, oh, no Middleton for Milwaukee. I'm like, all right, Milwaukee money line, let's run it. And they won outright. And then the one of the first games, I was looking and my whole chat's like, oh, you're choosing the Bulls. They don't have Levine tonight, whatever. I'm like, all right, Bulls outright, and they won outright. So it's like I don't care about certain injuries.
Dak's playing, fuck it, give me the Lions. Dak's playing, good.
Facts.
All right, so there's a bunch of games tomorrow. Basically, what I've been doing, unless I see a spot with a side, is I've been betting non-conference overs, which I think there was a 10-year span. This was 2 years ago. It stopped, and I haven't looked at it since. But I can tell you what it is this season. It's 5-1 to the over non-conference totals. So I've taken all of them. I haven't posted all of them. The one I posted hit today. It actually got it at 230. It was the Charlotte Pelicans. It was the Pelicans and the Hornets. And it was at 230. It dropped to 226.5, which kind of worried me a little bit, but it ended at 236 or 238. I mean, there's something about non-conference overs, and I think it has to do, there's some magic juju in it, but it also has something to do with the teams you prepare for, because we talk about how the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference, they're different talent levels, and all the West is always better, but the teams are definitely different. And really in basketball, you do prepare more for certain teams. Like the Lakers, the Clippers, or the Warriors, that's who they're thinking about. But when they travel to Washington, maybe they're not worried about playing defense. Maybe they want to, test things that they have and shoot more threes. And maybe that game, anyways, there's something to that trend, and that's what I'm going for. And that's really what I'm betting, unless I see an avenue. But looking at the games tomorrow, that would only be the Rockets and the Bucks at 230. And by the way, I look at it when it's between 220. I don't look at it under 220. If it's under 220, that's the thing in the trend too. It's totals that are 220 or more. And I really don't like to look at 230 unless it's two teams that go off. But the reason why is Charlotte and New Orleans aren't known for playing defense.
No, they're not.
So and even without Bell or Ball, I liked it. So Spurs 76ers would be one. It's a 223.5. That's a question mark because the 76ers can't score. I don't know what the fuck's going on with them. So I'm still going to bet it as part of the experiment, but I don't know if I'd give it out. The other one is the Rockets and the Bucks at 231, which I would lean towards the under in that one. But the fact that it's at 231 must mean, that really must mean that the Rockets, which are one of the worst teams in the NBA, really play zero defense. The Rockets might be an over team. Every time they're playing someone, you might want to look at the over.
They're playing heavy over tonight.
Yeah,
I know that because
they don't play defense.
I just cashed that over. So
yeah. So, anyways, those are the looks that I'm looking at. I know Tim's probably the only one on here that maybe has bets for tomorrow.
I have three, and that's it. Because I have a lot of college basketball, so I went and kind of cherry picked.
Wait a minute, the college basketball season doesn't start tomorrow, does it?
College football. Sorry, college football.
I'm like, whoa, I missed something.
No. Sorry,
Yeah.
November 7th is college basketball. That is a deep three miss.
Cash that Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida under. It's 2-2 going into overtime.
Yeah, we had the over on the site.
Yeah, I know you did. All right, so what are the three games? Let's look at those three games because I'm only going to be doing. I'm probably only going to be the totals unless you guys put me on something else.
All right, so I have three plays up on the site already for tomorrow. The first one is gross. It's Philadelphia minus 13. And the only reason why I'm doing that, you got Philly coming off of 2 losses, but they're again, you got your Memphis cover.
Yeah.
I didn't bet that game. I'm happy I didn't bet that game because I was leaning the dog. But anyways, I'm gonna be on Philadelphia tomorrow. I normally don't like laying more than 10 points on an NBA team. But Philadelphia is at home. They're rested and they're pissed. off of 2 losses to Boston and Milwaukee. And the Spurs are coming off of their crazy-ass game tonight against Indiana. So the Spurs will be on the second leg of a back-to-back. Philly's going to win this game by about 25-30. This one's going to be a blowout. This will be Philly's first win of the year. I'm going to be on Philadelphia. I normally don't like laying that many points. That's just one of the ones I'm going to go after.
So that is one. So in the early NBA season, I have a couple besides non-conference overs. I'm basically going to give how I cap NBA game. I'll give it all out. There's no secret whatevers. Home teams bounce back after bad offensive showings. So if they shoot really bad, look for home teams. Non-conference overs, like I said. Road favorites after a bad loss, which a bad loss is by
double digits.
15. Yeah, no, I think it's 15 points. What is it? Yeah, 15 points. Blown up by 15 points or more. And that's 64% of the time they cover. And this was done last year. The other one is home dogs getting 10 points or more. So again, it goes in. Yeah, home dogs getting 10 points or more. And that goes to the whole kind of thing that we talk about in other sports, that like a team shouldn't be a touchdown favorite in the NFL or a double-digit favorite in the NFL, that sort of thing. But this hits 58% of the time, according to this. And I don't know how far back that goes, but the system becomes particularly useful when the road team is 70% or more betting action. Okay, I don't look at betting action because I don't trust the sites, but it's another good look. It's taking a home team that's getting double digits. I will probably also, just for that fact, be on the game. You have to think. I mean, and granted, what maybe they know something. The Spurs, which are supposed to be a bad team this year,
they're going to be a bad team this year.
Yeah, supposed to be a bad team. And I watched the Sixers 2 nights ago. Embiid looks like he doesn't care. But
did you see his shooting numbers in the second half?
The last game or this
last game? 0 for 7.
Yeah.
He did nothing.
He's not going to play. That team's too talented. We talk about Ben Simmons hurting his pussy, and that's fine. Whatever. I think he's a mental midget. I think he has.
Ben Simmons is not on Philly. He's on Brooklyn.
What am I talking about?
He played on Philly.
I'm off it. We'll talk about the Nets with that one. Tobias Harris.
I like Tobias Harris.
Is a really great player. And
yep.
You know what I was thinking of? I swapped him. I was thinking of Harden, who was the trade was for.
Harden. Yep.
Harden he's not a champion. He's a scorer. But the problem is he's still a talented player. Yeah, so when you're looking at the Spurs and the Sixers, they're not, the books aren't even begging you to take. I mean, this isn't even like a close line. This is the book saying the 76ers are going to get blown out by a bad team. That's a question mark to me.
The Spurs are going to get blown out.
Spurs are also on a back-to-back, but yeah.
Spurs are on a second leg of a back-to-back. Philly's a 13-point favorite. I'm taking Philly.
Oh, you're taking. Why did I read that as plus? I'm totally off. Yeah. No,
I don't know. I'm taking Philadelphia tomorrow.
No. Then I'm not betting this game. I was thinking they were a 13-point favorite. Yeah. Well, this makes way more sense because I mean Philadelphia is a huge team. 13.5 points, huh?
Philadelphia is going to be good. They're going to be a 3 team in the West in the East.
People are saying, well, there's people that think they're going to win the East.
I don't think they're going to win the East. I still think the Bucks and the Celtics are still better.
Yeah, the Bucks are the best team in the East, I think.
And the Raptors are going to be up there too, but that's not the point.
So, all right. Well, I am looking at the over in that game, but I'm going to bet it for my experiment, but it kind of makes me leery just because of how the Sixers have been. But I mean, Simmons and Harden can score 40 points each in a game. I mean,
they could. Yep, 100%.
Yeah. All right. What's your other game? I mean, we're not going to go every game. We're going to get the football.
My 2 other games, I'm going Cleveland tomorrow on the money line against the Bulls. The Bulls are on a second leg of a back-to-back. They're beat up. They're missing a couple pieces. They looked awful tonight. Well, they lost by 2 points tonight, but it was a hard-fought game against the Washington Wizards. I ended up losing my bet on that one. But anyways, it's just a back-to-back spot for Chicago. I don't think they're in a good spot right now because they have to travel from DC to Chicago. Cleveland's already is kind of rested and already there. I think it's a good spot for Cleveland to get their first win of the season. I do think Cleveland's going to be good this year. Yeah. I faded them the first game against Toronto just because I knew everybody's going to see, Donovan Mitchell, first game. Let's go. Now, I think that now he's got a game underneath his belt there. I really do like Cleveland tomorrow on the road, about even money area.
Yeah, so there were moves made in the offseason that were questionable to me. Like, how does this guy fit? So one of those was Gobert to the T-Wolves. I don't know how he's going to fit in with another dominant big. I guess they're thinking that
Put two
Karl Anthony
trees in the
Towns.
middle and you're good.
Yeah, well, there's ways it can work, but it was a question mark. A great fit for this team, fantastic, was Donovan Mitchell.
100%.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, this team, Darius Garland, Karis LeVert. But here's the deal: their front or their backcourt or the front court is a beast. Defensively, you got Kevin Love, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. I mean, this is.
I really like
team.
Allen too. And Mobley's going to be solid again this year.
Yeah, no, this team is good, and they're going to be a bet on team. I think they're going to be. You can get them in spots probably just because they're the Cavs. With none of those guys are what I'd consider they're in the NBA. There are true superstars and then just stars. None of these guys are stars. I mean superstars, but there's a lot of stars there. So this team is this is like the Nuggets have been without Joker. Where there's good players on the team, but they're just a good team together. And the Nuggets, by the way, I think had the longest streak of going to the playoffs for like 20, I think it was 20 seasons or 18 seasons, something like that.
Yeah, and they went under the radar because they were getting the 8 seed a bunch.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good team. I don't have a play in this game, but the Cavs are definitely a watch. A couple of shout outs to Ryan. Looking at it now, I think KD wasn't entirely wrong for demanding a change in the front office and coach. For what team? What are we talking about?
He's on the Nets. I had the Nets tonight. They cashed me. They're the only thing that's cashed me. So
LJ
far.
in the house. LJ, tell me how Black Adam is. LJ is missing tonight because he has to have date night, which is 100 happy wife, happy life. Black Adam, that looks like a dope ass movie. The Rock.
I heard it has Dwayne Johnson and The Rock in it. So,
yeah, okay. Well, there you go. You're all cashing tonight because man did. We all I cashed my only posted bet, the over in the Pelicans Hornets game, and then I live bet or I threw in a money line bet on the Nuggets before the game on a whim, which is probably not a smart idea, but anyway. All right. So you have another game.
Touchdown
WTU.
WTU.
20 to 17 Western.
Yeah, crack. We're gonna go 3-0 on posted bets today.
Well, it's not over yet. Yeah.
Did the Lightning? We already cashed it because it went.
Lightning already went under.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Oh, and then the final game for tomorrow is I'm fading my Nuggets. I grabbed Oklahoma City plus 7.5.
Why?
Because the Nuggets are going to be on a second leg of a back-to-back, and they're coming off of a big game against Golden State. And then going and playing Oklahoma City. Do I think the Thunder is going to win the game outright? No. But I think this one's going to be a game that goes down to the wire, and 7.5 points is going to be too much to give Denver. Because Denver, they'll win games, but they're not going to blow out the Thunder. For whatever reason, they don't blow out the Thunder. They don't blow out like Houston. They'll play good against certain teams, but this is a spot in a second leg of a back-to-back. It is their first home game. I'll give them that. But I think this one's going to be a lot closer than people think. I grabbed the Thunder plus the points.
The Thunder were one of my most profitable teams last year because they were often, them and the Pistons, because they were often home court double-digit dogs.
It was them, the Pistons, and the Cavs were all big money makers for me.
Oh, the Cavs were huge because the Cavs, all of it came out of nowhere. I mean, they didn't they have that winning streak that was them and the Rockets had those 2 long winning streaks last year.
Correct. Yeah, they had big winning streaks.
Yeah.
Well, the Pistons had a big covering streak. They had like a 10 or 11 game covering streak, and I was just on them every night. It was just, see the Pistons, bet the Pistons. By the way, the Pistons suck. They cost me some money tonight.
You guys want a couple scum tomorrow that I'm probably gonna take?
Why else would you be here? That's the only reason
we only want the scum.
Let's go.
Let's fire Magic home dogs after Celtics big win on the road in Miami and go up.
I just locked in the Celtics.
Oh shit! Wait, Oh, you
Not on
did.
the site. Not on the site.
That's
Not on the site, but as a
fine.
bet for me.
I'm just gonna be looking at it, and the Kings. We historically out here in California, we love the Kings as dogs. We hate them as favorites. They of course blow it against the Blazers as favorites. Now they're gonna host the. Who are they hosting tomorrow?
That would be the Clippers. Clippers. Oh, he's gone.
Hosting
Clippers.
the Clippers after the big win over the Lakers. Hopefully it's inflated to fuck. Give me the home dog Kings. They're typically
It's
feisty.
I only see it's only a 3.5.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, that's scary as hell.
4.5. 4.5. That was
Good.
oh geez.
Stinkier the better.
I saw that one at 6.5 earlier.
It's better for you.
Yeah.
It is. But
That's why I said, the Niners are only +2 instead of 3.5. Good.
exactly. I
They're
see what
one
you're
now,
saying.
+1 now. The Niners.
Is someone
Yeah, that's the CMC
Maybe-
effect.
maybe I know I hate that. I might keep me off them. I wanted him to
No, we've already got him locked
I
in. For
already
sure.
locked
it
it
in
in
already.
their circa pick.
maybe the Clippers have someone sitting out. You know how they do. They might have Paul George, someone sitting out or something.
It's got to be Kawhi if anybody, just because it's injury management.
that bench,
Is
numbers
deep.
6 through 11 is a starting fucking roster. Other places, they're incredibly deep. It's crazy how deep the Clippers are, and I hate the Clippers, but they'll choke in the playoffs like they do. That's what they're known for. They'll
Kings
just
are
do it.
feisty. They're catching points. They'll probably lose by 1 or 2 and cover or something.
Talking about non-conference overs, the Kings last year for most of the season were when they were playing an Eastern Conference team, it was almost always an over if it was 220 or over total. They're bad and the worst run organization in sports probably, but they don't play defense and they're good for my pocket. And that's the NBA. I mean, I don't have any other. Nothing else is going to tip me off. None of those.
I did just cap the card and did my indexes. And
yeah, go for it. Like go for it. Yeah,
and I came up with 5 plays that had decent value on them.
Okay.
One counters what Hammer Poop just said. I'm on the Celtics laying 6.5. I just go by my projections, and my projections showed value with the Celtics. I had them as double-digit favorites, so I went ahead and took them in the under 219.5 in that game. My number for that, I believe, was what was it for Boston? I had that game around a 212.5, and I got 219.5, so I saw about 7 points of value with that line. So I'm on the under 219.
I like that look actually.
A little bit of an interesting look here. I know I think they're on the second half of a back-to-back tomorrow, heading to Dallas. But I took 5.5 with the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeesh.
Because I think these are two. I had this game projected at 2.5, and I'm getting 5.5. So I'm getting 3 points on the side, which usually that's my threshold. Is 3 points on the side, and there's only 2 sides that graded out that well, which was Boston and Memphis. Also, Denver kind of graded out well for me, but I'm not taking them against OKC because I know Tim already put them up. And then my final 2 plays are totals. I'm taking Toronto, Miami under 215.5. My projected line for that one was 211.5. So I saw 4 points of value on that one. And then I'm taking Chicago and Cleveland over 217.5. My projected line was 222.5. So 5 points of value there. That's kind of how I cap the NBA. Is I just look for lines that I think are off.
There you go. Bottom up.
Yep.
I think there's might be some. See, this is a thing. The Mavs are a good team. The Memphis is a good team. Memphis on the road is 5.5 point favorites.
Dogs.
Why does it? It's what? Am I on drugs? Like I know
Probably.
I'm not on drugs. No, I'm not. It says no. Memphis is. This is saying October 22nd. Memphis at Dallas. Memphis is minus 5.5.
Dallas is minus
Dallas
5.5. I just got Memphis plus.
So
5.5.
covers is. This is what I'm saying. Covers has things flip flop.
Covers sucks with that. They suck.
Yeah, covers is kind of trash.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's what I did in that other game. That makes much more sense to me because Mavs came off of a disappointing loss against an under not a
A
team that's not gonna perform.
disappointing loss. They blew a
Yeah.
20-point lead.
Yeah. I might like that look too. I'm probably not going to bet it, but anyways, let's get into. I want to spend some time on college football because that's what the show's supposed to be about, and I have a shit ton of games that I like based on the index. And I wanted to, what just happened? You said a seizure.
Oh, sorry. I'm just watching the Nuggets game and they drained a 3.
Okay.
I have the Nuggets game. Sorry, I'm a fan as well, so I'm watching.
Okay. No, you're like
Fuck,
at least you're not like
it's all
Moose
about
that
money, let's
stands up in the background and like doesn't sit down during the game. Who watches a baseball game for 4 hours and stands up the whole time? Only Moose.
Chicago Blackhawks goal.
No, shut up.
3-2. It's 16-14 left in the third.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Machado
Blackhawks.
struck out. What's new?
Oh, I need to send. Oh, Dave, I need to send you a new clip I made. This is specifically for baseball for the National League Championship Series.
Okay.
But yeah,
we'll play it. Send it to me. We'll play it.
Real quick, there was one stat that I saw that I wanted to bring up with the NLCS from Game 2. So Aaron Nola was the pitcher in that game. In his career, he's thrown 10,000 fastballs, or roughly. 9 of those have been 96 mile an hour or faster. Out of those 9, 3 of them came in the Game 2 against Austin Nola, his brother.
There you go.
You
I
guys,
sent it
I'm-
anyway.
I didn't know that they were brothers. Actually, I
they're
don't know how I
brothers.
missed that. I didn't know that.
you
Yeah,
guys
wow.
are twins. I'm 18 months apart from my brother, but we used to go. We never played harder against each other. We used to fuck each other. You know, you're gonna do your
The
best.
problem with me and Nick were always on the same team, so
Yeah, we're on the same team.
Here's a crazy thing about me. My sister. Guess how much younger she is than me?
I have not a clue.
10 years.
10 months.
Oh.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
what does
that was
tell you?
that was my second guess.
10 months. That's the only. When someone asks you that question, it's like, okay, you're not twins. It must be something weird. Yeah, they didn't waste any fucking time.
No, they did not. Apparently not.
No. Nope. And then they waited 6 years, and my brother was born. But actually, she waited. It was a different father. But anyways, so I have a sister that's 10 months younger than me. That's kind of crazy. So which was weird because for a month and a half of the year we were the same age.
Is your last name McClanahan? That's little Irish twins.
No. What's a Southern name? I don't know. some hick name.
McDonald, no.
I don't know.
I'd be Irish too.
Yeah, those are all those Southern Irish mix.
Yep.
All right.
Anyways.
So college, I'm no way in fuck we're gonna go through all the college games, but
So we'll go ahead and start off with Duquesne and Central Connecticut State.
No, we're not wasting our time on crap like that. At the end,
I'm joking. It was the first stupid game that I saw, and I said it. I'm not actually on that game.
So let's jump into. I mean, let's jump into one you guys are obviously have some. You like Syracuse, Clemson. The line's at 14. Clemson minus 14. But I only have them as 10-point favorites. The problem is it's not at home. Syracuse at home, obviously. I mean the line wouldn't be this.
They've
way
had
if it was
6
at home.
home games. Yeah.
Yeah. What do we think in this game? It's not one that I absolutely love, but I'm getting 4 points of line value. That's quite a bit. So we'll start with Nick. Do you have a thought on this game at all?
I took 14 points or 13 and a half. I think I got it. I have it around that 10 and a half line as well. I just see a little bit of value with Syracuse, 2 undefeated teams, 1 getting points. I just took it. That's kind of the way my mindset went with that.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
While Tim goes, I'm going to look up a couple team rankings, team stats. But if you have any thoughts, jump in.
This game has a touchdown, Syracuse, with 24 seconds to go to make it 27-21 or something in that range to get the backdoor cover. I don't, as much as a Syracuse fan, because that's one of my 3 colleges that I'm a fan of. Do I think they win this game? No, I don't. I don't think they win this game. I'm not high on Clemson, but Syracuse has the best opponent that they've played so far was NC State with a backup quarterback and Purdue.
They looked horrible. NC State, that quarterback looked like fucking shit.
And by the way, NC State's going to be without their starting quarterback Leary for the rest of the year. So goodbye to them.
There goes the ACC dark horse thing.
Yeah,
the winner of this most likely. I mean, if Syracuse wins, they probably will end up losing a game before the end of the year. They're not going undefeated, but I want to say Syracuse can have a shot, but I think this one's got backdoor cover and all. What a jam by Jordan! Sorry, this one has backdoor cover and all over it.
Chris, what do you think? Anything?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I heard a little bit of sharp money coming in on. I hate these. I hate when it's like two teams like this, and it's inflated to fuck. Like you'd think that Syracuse just came off a big win at home. I'm not touching it right now. I have my eyes on other ones, but I would. This is one as a gambler I like to watch, but I just am not financially invested quite yet. But I want to see how Ugalele plays here under pressure. He went to Bosco, my alma mater. I want to see if he's got it in him. So
you went to St. John Bosco?
Yeah, you knew that.
I didn't know. No, I didn't know that. What year did you graduate?
07. I've always said Bosco, fuck Mater Dei, let's go.
You were the Bosco. They redid the Angeles League, which was it called the Angeles League at that time?
Well, it was the Trinity. They called it
right before the Trinity. I graduated before it was a Trinity, and the Trinity had Orange Lutheran, and they pulled in a bunch of Protestant schools. But we were in the Golden West League when I was a freshman, which was Tustin, where Deshaun Foster went. It was Westminster. It was Ocean View and Huntington, Santa Ana. It was all these weird schools. Then there were a 4-school league. It was Servite, Mater Dei, Santa Margarita, St. John Bosco, and they called it it was called the Sarah League. And
Sarah, but I think it had Loyola in it too.
No, that came after. It was after me. That was after me. We graduated. They added Loyola, and then they changed to the Trinity. Then it's back to the Sarah. Then Jay Sarah was in it. Anyways, I didn't know you went to Bosco. I know you were saying that, but I thought you were just making fun of. By the way, Bosco, when I was there, was a nothing burger. Santa Margarita was way better than Bosco. Because that's when Carson Palmer had just graduated, and Jordan Palmer.
They're only like within the last 7 to 10 years for sure.
Yeah, but they just played Mater Dei and Bosco. I think Mater Dei beat them. They're like first and second in the nation or something, or some crazy shit. Anyway, okay. Here's the scary thing about this.
Those are high schools in your area.
You don't know who Mater Dei is? I'll name some people.
No.
Matt Leinart, JT Daniels, Amon Ross.
I don't know high schools in California.
Amon Ross St. Brown.
Matt Barkley.
Matt Grudegood.
Bryce Young.
Who's in there now? Carson Palmer was probably the biggest person from Mater Dei to ever come out. But Amon Ross St. Brown and JT Daniels played with each other, and now Amon Ross St. Brown's the only reason why JT Daniels isn't an NFL quarterback is he got hurt. That ruined him his sophomore year. Anyway, this is what worries me about this game. So both teams are good on both sides of the ball. The problem is Clemson. What's the sack rate for Syracuse? Syracuse QB sack percentage is 8.5, which 8.5, which is 106. So their O-line sucks, and Syracuse or Clemson slightly above average, 5.88. Basically, there's going to be some pressure on the quarterback, and Clemson has those big fucking corn-fed guys. They're one of the they recruit for every team.
They recruit for defense.
Yeah. They're like in Alabama. All these big schools, the number one thing they get, I think that separates people even more than the skill positions, is a D-line. That worries me a little bit. Clemson's 15th in points scored, 22 in points let up, and then Syracuse is 38 and scored and 12th. I mean, this it looks like it's going to be a close game. The problem, that's the only stat
what did Syracuse do in their one road game? Because I've only played one road game and 6 home games.
Well, that's a good point. Let's look it up. Let's look it up.
They've played a road game.
They played. Well, you know where the road game was? We wouldn't even look at it. It's at Connecticut. Why would you look at that?
Never mind. So they've played. So their one road game. This is one thing that does concern me about them. Their one road game was at UConn.
The worst
Other
team,
than
one of the
that,
worst
you're
teams
nice
in
and-
football.
Yeah, when they weren't playing at UConn, they were home sweet home.
Yeah.
Which they're dome sweet dome, and that's one thing that does concern me about Syracuse in this game is how do they perform on the road? Not only are they going on the road, they're going to Death Valley. Like that's a tough place to play in Clemson. There's a reason why this team hasn't lost at home in how many years?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's concerning to me. I mean, I that's why I'm not pulling a trigger yet, but
yeah, that worries me, but I do have Syracuse.
All right, let's go to here's another one. Indiana Rutgers. Do you guys have any thoughts on this game? Because I have Rutgers as a point at home as a 0.91 favorite, and they're laying 3 points. Rutgers is not that. I mean, Rutgers is probably the weakest team in that conference.
they're the only one without a win.
Yeah. They're at home. This is the book saying they're an equal team. And granted, the index kind of says it too. But how are Indiana and Rutgers on a neutral playing field, an equal team? I
They both
have
suck.
Because who sucks?
They both do.
Well, let's look at Indiana's stats real quick.
But I will say this game has we have one of our biggest CLV kind of differences on this game. We got a 5% CLV because we got over 45 and a half, and it's up to 48 in some books.
So you're looking at the total. Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the over.
Which that meant so much on the one game we beat really good line movement last week on the under in Michigan, and it went way over.
The biggest one that we beat last week was Kentucky. We went from 7 to 3, and they won outright.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that Indiana does well at all is pass the ball. So I'm going to look at Rutgers pass defense because everything else is absolute shit. Let's look at Rutgers pass defense. I mean, Rutgers scores 14 points a game. Jesus H. Their pass defense is actually really good. Granted, I don't know who they play. I mean, we could look at who they played. No, that's rushing. Never mind. Their pass defense is good too. 207 yards a game, 33rd in the country. That's way above average. And they played.
The Blackhawks just tied it.
Yeah.
There goes my play of the day. Goodbye.
Sorry.
On a short-handed goal.
Blackhawks for the cup. Boston College, Wagner, a fucking basketball team. Temple, another basketball team. Iowa, which they lost to Iowa, the shitty Iowa. Ohio State, Nebraska. Yeah, I'm off this game. I thought there was some line value there. Would you go under Rutgers? No, they just said they went over.
No, I'm on the over, but we got it at 45 and a half and sitting at 48 now. So
They just said.
Yeah. Come on. Clean your ears, buddy.
Speaking of poop,
thanks for coming. Thanks for coming back. We appreciate it. Love you and your comments in the chat. We'll move on. I'm off that game. All right. Houston Navy.
yes.
Okay. So Houston way underperforming this year. I mean, I thought they would be a decent team. They look.
I thought they can win the AAC this year.
Yeah, exactly.
I legitimately thought they would go undefeated and win the American.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's not.
And it's all that the game in Provo. That was Baylor. Never mind. That wasn't that game. Houston, the UTSA game. Did they win? Who won that game?
They won that one in overtime. They lost to
That's what I was thinking of.
Texas Tech. They lost to some weird team. Not weird teams, but not good teams.
Lost to Memphis on a game they had a multiple score lead with a couple minutes left.
So I have this game as a pick'em even at Navy. So actually,
yeah,
it's a pick'em at Navy. So on neutral field, it'd be 2.5 or 3, and the line's at +2. I'm thinking about the under, but I'm also thinking about even though Houston's usually this they play defense, but they're this offensive team. It hasn't been that way, the way that usually is. And Navy is a ball control team, even though they're faster pace.
they're a
run
triple
team.
option.
They're triple option academy team.
We saw them live. They ran all over East Carolina.
So I think that's a bad matchup for Houston. I think
100%.
Yeah. So Tim, I mean, talk about it.
We have 2 plays in this one, and they work together. We're going under the 53, and it's going to be because the Navy runs all over them, and Navy wins outright at plus 135. I'm not. It's in Navy. I like them there. Houston's just been a complete mess this year. Just imagine, I would have probably gone crazy if this game was this line earlier in the year, and I thought Houston was going to be that good, and they were going to be a 2.5-point favorite. I would be slamming Houston right now. Nope, Navy outright. I just don't think Houston's good anymore.
I mean, Houston has a slightly above average rushing defense.
Yeah, but against a triple option, even the best rushing defenses will struggle.
That's what I'm saying. It becomes so you look at them on offense, and their average rushing, above average passing. Like you would think that they'd be better than 47th in the country at throwing the ball. Houston's just known for that. And rushing the ball, they're 71st, which is like right smack dab in the middle.
The thing is, Navy doesn't give a fuck. They're gonna go, all right, we got 10 yards. We got 4 downs to get 10 yards, and we're going to do it running the ball.
And
who's
they'll
going to get it? The
go for it on
quarterback,
4th and 1.
the tailback, the wide receiver. Who's going to get it? I don't know.
Here's why it's hard to cap these games too, because I think I just watched Navy last game. They did go for it on 4th and 1 or 2 on their own like 30-yard line. Like they don't. This is a military. These are like future like people that put themselves in harm's way. They don't give a fuck. They know they're not winning the national championship. And they also know they're also undersized because there are certain weight limits and stuff. Like they're out there. They're the hardest.
That's why they run the triple option.
Yeah, that's why their face masks are bent and stuff. Like this is like
they don't care.
They don't give a shit.
I will back military academies through football and basketball this year because you're going to get
play defense on basketball.
You're going to get 60 minutes from this Navy team.
Yep. I love Navy on defense on basketball because they're vicious. They commit fouls like they're vicious. I love.
And I've seen Navy plenty of times because me and Nick are now big. We big follow the American Conference. That's our strong. Like if we specialize in a conference, it's the American, and we have all these teams down where we know where they're going to be. Obviously, I got Houston way wrong, but this Navy team. They're going to run the ball on you. They don't give a fuck, and they're going to play defense up until that last whistle.
Rockets push the spread again. What are you betting? Actually, the Rockets are a good bet on.
They cashed the over. That's all that mattered to me.
Who did they face again? I didn't bet that game.
I don't know. I didn't either.
Memphis.
Yeah, that's an over big time. Let's look at what they did. Desmond Bain. They have no one on their team. That's the Grizzlies. Where's Ja? Ja had 31 or had 49. Sorry, 49 points. Desmond Bain had 14.
Yeah, the Utah Jazz are 2-0. What the fuck?
Jalen Green had 33. That was the number 1 pick last year.
Oh, no, he wasn't number 1.
He was
last year was Paul the Duke guy, Banchero.
Okay, he was number 3. Was number 3 after Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, or was he 2?
Oh, from the previous year.
Yeah, no, not this last draft. The draft.
No, he might have been the first.
Jalen Green was, I think, and then it was Cade Cunningham, I think. But anyway, good for them. Hammer Poop. Anything on Navy or Houston Navy? By the way, Navy's 3rd in the country at 269 rushing yards a game and only 110 yards passing.
No shit. Is number 1 and number 2 also military academies?
Yeah.
Fuck Clayton Tune, fuck Houston, and Holkerson, a gay ass coach with his fucking ugly ass mullet. I'm happy.
Tell us how you really feel.
I'm just pissed that I didn't take first half Nuggets. They're up by 11. I'm just pissed I took full game. I should have unleashed on first half too.
Plus 180, baby. Come on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we saw the Timberwolves be up 11 at halftime. Yeah, nothing matters in the NBA until the last 3 minutes.
Yeah,
I fucking hate the sport.
Nuggets. Hopefully, the Nuggets just want to unleash on them and let them know, hey,
damn right.
for
The
you.
Warriors were the
No,
ones that
you know
knocked
it's
them out
going
of
to
the
be tied
playoffs
heading
last
into
year.
the fourth quarter, right?
Tell them to take this D.
Take
The
this
problem is
D nugget.
the problem is the Golden State Warriors
Nuggets.
have the best third quarter in NBA.
For like years.
It's, at halftime, it's time to live bet the Warriors at like plus 8.5 if you can get.
No,
there.
I think they were. I think the Nuggets. I was going to tell you guys too. Yeah, I think Nuggets were like that last time too. They'll get like they'll be down at half, and next thing I remember last year, I looked. Well, the Nuggets are down 10. Oh no, they're up by 10.
Golden Nuggets last year, towards the end of the year, were like
Golden Nuggets.
I mean, the Golden Nuggets, the Golden State Warriors, the Golden
Yeah.
Nuggets were 15-0 in the third quarter. Went on a 15-0 run, money line third quarter. It was crazy.
And they'll probably do it again today.
Red, yeah.
The Golden State Nuggets. Let's.
That's
move
why
on.
the Nuggets need as big as a lead as they can get going into halftime.
Yeah, for sure.
Up 14 helps. I hope people bet the over because Jesus, it's freaking 96 points and it's halfway through the second.
Yeah, I'm going to put this on a little alert because
Kill them.
So the Nuggets are down 14 points, but they're still
Up.
plus up. Nuggets are 55-41. Yep. The Warriors are plus 4.5.
Wait
That just
until
shows you-
halftime and you can probably get 7-8 if it stays this way.
I would definitely recommend to bet the.
Yeah,
the Warriors.
we can't miss that. Let's all remind each other. All right, next game, Duke Miami. Miami's at home. I have them as 6.37 point favorites, but the line is -10. And I'm never high. I think Miami's one of those teams like Nebraska. People are living in the past. They think that they're the same team they were 20 years ago. No one goes the U anymore. The U, like that was during my childhood when they were good. You guys have a play on this? I don't, but the line value is just ridiculous. 3.5 points, not ridiculous, but good.
No, I don't have anything in the game.
Nick, nothing.
Oh, which game?
Duke, Miami.
Miami and Duke.
I think I did get involved in this one actually. This one was one of the plays when Tim and I broke it down that I played that Tim did not. My projected line for this game was Miami -4.5. I'm on Duke +9.
Let's take a look and see what these teams do.
Duke covers and Miami loses to.
I had
Middle
Duke last week
Tennessee
against
when
North
they're
Carolina
22
+7. Duke's been a cash cow this year.
Well, let's
Duke's
jump.
also played a bunch of nobodies and then UNC and Kansas.
Duke played
UNC
Kansas
is
pretty.
not
Duke
great.
played Kansas pretty hard.
Yeah.
Duke beat Northwestern, which I don't know if they shut
Nothing.
Temple out. They beat
Temple's
Virginia.
trash.
They lost to Georgia Tech, which, by the way, that game sucked last night.
I had Georgia Tech, so it
We
worked
all-
out
I mean,
nicely.
That second string quarterback needs to go back to needs to be just cut. Absolutely dog shit horrible. They couldn't do anything. Their defense held Virginia so many times. It was crazy. And they'd end up in it'd be 4th and 17 or something. They just couldn't gain a yard. So let's take a look and see these two Jamoke teams. Miami, not player stats, team stats. 22 points a game, below average, gives up 22, way above average, so their defense is good. Rushing the ball, they 104th in the country in yards, but their rushing offense, our defense is awesome. 8th, only give up 97 yards, so they're a defensive team for sure. Passing yards, Miami can pass the ball, 327 in the air, 10th in the country, 248 against, which is middle of the line. So good defense, a passing team that can play defense. And then what do we got for Duke? 30 points per game, slightly above average. 22 points given up, slightly above average. They rush the ball quite a bit. What did we say about the Miami's rush defense? Their rush defense is awesome. So they're going to neutralize them, or that's at least what the numbers are saying. And 233 in the air, that's average. And they're way below average, and they're 112th in the country on opponents' pass yards per game. So I'm off this game, but the line value is there, but I'm off the game because it looks like Duke or Miami can neutralize what Duke does well, and Duke can't neutralize what Miami does well. Just pass the ball. So anyway,
No real interest
Hammer
in
poop.
it.
Are you on that game? That doesn't sound like a poopy type of game, but
No, not too poopy enough. I've got some ugly shit that I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for you guys to talk about. My dad.
Okay,
Hopefully
cool.
you go to the
All right.
unranked LSU against Ole Miss.
Yep.
okay. We could talk about the game. I have it crossed off. Let's talk about it. Go jump in. I have 0 play in that game, but go ahead.
The
Start
LSU
it off.
Tigers are winning this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, you brought it up. Go
My
ahead.
boy Big Cock Earl knows what's up.
Yep.
What you brought it up, so tell us what you're thinking. Is this a fade guy? Did the fade guy like
Well,
No.
He knows this is just this is a snap call, unranked at home,
Snap call.
favored
Poker
over
term.
top 10. I mean, and the line, you'd think the line would go towards Ole Miss. It's gone up towards LSU from 1.5 to 2. The general public, is going to take the ranked team catching points, but we're going LSU here, and you have to. I mean, it's a like you say, Dave. Oh, if you're this is probably over 60% play. You're getting that. It's a snap call. So
Yeah, and you don't have to convince me to fade Lane fucking Kiffin. I mean, fuck that guy. I know that guy real well. I have a lot of stories about that dickhead. But anyway, what Nick, you said that they're winning outright, so
Well, yeah, they're minus 120, but this
you
is LSU. I got, I think, minus 118, minus 120. I did a free pick video on this one tonight. This was pretty simple. I see no value in this game from the bottom up perspective. By indexing
that's why I crossed it off.
I had
That's
it
why I
at a
crossed it off.
pickup. But
Yeah.
we've seen this plenty of times where these plays have come through. A home unranked favorite against a ranked team is a bet on any day of the week. And yes, I know we're getting the 7-0 Ole Miss Rebels coming in number 7 in the nation.
It's a trap.
Fuck 'em. Give me the Tigers.
they could.
You know that the Old Miss a few years ago, there was a whole commercial about it, how they didn't have a mascot or whatever, or they wanted a new mascot, and the students had a petition to make Admiral Akbar the mascot for Old Miss.
All I can
Look it
say, Old Miss has already won a national championship this year in a sport. They don't need to win another one. They were the champions for baseball. They won the baseball. But this is LSU spot clear and clear. At home, LSU has been playing better. I will say that. And whenever you see a top 10 team at plus money against an unranked team, you go after the unranked team. It's just even if it loses, I don't care. I'm still going to go after it. It's definitely a poopy play.
That's a basketball thing. Whenever you see a team that's favored over a ranked team, you almost blind bet them.
Yep.
No, yeah. I don't say that so much for football because I think there's more parity in football, but I don't know. Anyway.
But by the way, a little off topic. This game just finished. The Philadelphia Phillies have taken a 2-1 series lead over the San Diego Padres. If you saw the clip I sent you, now would be a good time to play it.
All right, I didn't, but why not? We'll take a little aside here. We're actually making good time today for once. Not.
And after he plays that one, after you do all that, I have a game that I want to call it a poopy play, but I want to go after it.
I want it.
We got plenty of time. We got a lot of time for. I purposely wanted to make a lot of time for college football because we did horrible the 2 weeks before. Last week we smashed. That was our best. All right, I haven't seen this yet, so we'll just a live exclusive on Nerd Talk while it processes for fucking 15 minutes. What the hell? There we go. Oh, I'm looking at the thumbnail. That's hilarious. That's from. Yeah.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
That's awesome. That's the best one you've done for sure. Go fuck yourself, San Diego. You know it's funny.
I did TikTok like that today too. With I threw on my Philly shirt because I have a Philly's part of my collection, whatever. And I like ad-libbed, I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Too bad Moose doesn't like to do the show. He can't do Fridays. He can't do it because he's doing PSR. But he'll be back on Wednesday, hopefully. But that'll be. I hope the Phillies. I hope the Phillies win. If the Phillies win and I play that, he might just never come back. But either way.
Fair.
Well,
I'm gonna
anyway.
put that in the group chat.
Yeah, that's in the archives. All right, here's a big one. The biggest line value of any game, and I can believe it actually. This might be. I haven't looked into the teams, but it's almost a lock. Texas, Oklahoma State.
Yes.
Okay. I have Texas as a 1-point favorite in this game on the road. That's 5 points of line value. I mean, what the hell? Oklahoma State, by the way, them and Baylor were my two teams in the Big 12 that I liked. I said Oklahoma would have a down year. I don't care what you say about Venables or he came from, the Dabo Sweeney tree, if that's a thing. One of the best coaches in college football, one of the best quarterbacks in college football, and all the other people, the staff and everything that went to USC. That's a punch in the gut to your team. That's saying, we're going to chase the money instead of being here as a family. So I knew Oklahoma would be down. But anyways, Oklahoma State's up. Texas is actually playing a lot better than I expected.
Shorthanded goal for the Avalanche. 2-2 now.
Okay. But I don't know how you just don't blindly take if you index this and getting 5 points. I don't know how you blindly don't take Oklahoma State. I mean,
I'm already on it.
Do you have any thoughts about it?
I don't think Texas should be favorited like this. I know this is one of the a higher ranked team is home and a dog, and that should probably be leaning towards Texas. But I like Oklahoma and State in this game, and I might want to try it, Nick. We might try to add a play. I like the under. Because apparently there's supposed to be about 18 or 20 degree winds with 45 mile an hour wind gusts in Oklahoma State Stadium during this game. So there's going to be a lot of running the ball, which both teams have very good rush defenses. So I kind of lean towards the under, but that kind of just falls right into Oklahoma State's hands. I think that they're going to be – I think they win outright. I think that they're the better team. But I was also high on Oklahoma State coming into this year. I said in the beginning of the year, if you weren't taking one of the big three to win the national championship, Oklahoma State at 50-1 wasn't a bad bet, which they are still alive. I will say that they're still alive. One more loss, they're done. I don't think they lose this week. I like Oklahoma State outright.
Yeah, and I'm going to go to Chris next, but it would seem to me that a lower ranked team on the road being a favorite would be something that he's on. I mean, that sounds like kind of some poop.
But it's Texas.
What do you think?
Well, Okie State's the home dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
but that just seems like a higher ranked team as a home dog seems like it'd be like
quarterback's hurt for Okie State.
Yeah, all I have to say, go Nugs, go.
That's why the line is that way.
Just dig into them. Pull your nuggets out and put them on their face. Let's go. And dude, I think Oklahoma State wins about 9 or 10 games a year under Gundy. I love them over their win total every year, and I hope they knock Texas off. Everyone's, they should have beat Bama. Well, they really should have, but that's when
they didn't.
Yeah, I had a Texas money line ticket that day. They should have.
Yeah, they should have. They got ref balled, and that's fucked up. But
and backup quarterback
points. Yeah, I had the Texas with the points, so I cashed on that one. So Texas,
Earl, my boy Earl wanted his money line cock like he likes to do, and he didn't get it with that ref ball. But today, this week, Tim will pull he likes him outright. Let's get some Okie State Cowboy money line cock.
My great grandfather went to Oklahoma State, so I have a soft spot for them. But I think this is an auto bet for me. I mean, I'm looking at the stats. Both teams are just really good at everything. There's no one way or another. I mean, the only cap I have for this is taking an index and also a home dog, conference home dog. Granted, they don't have their quarterback, but is their quarterback worth 6 points or 5 points? Is their quarterback? No. I don't know. I don't know their backup.
I don't either.
They've got a strong enough rushing game.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking at too. They've got. Let's take a look. Team stats. Yeah, they're slightly above average, 153 on the ground. What are they passing? See, they're a really good passing team, 285. So that's going to take a hit, but
it's going to take a big hit with all the wind that's coming into this game.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. You look at the line value and you say there's 5 points of line value. Is their starting quarterback worth 5? I don't know. Like, is Tom Brady worth 5 points? I don't think many players are worth 5 points.
I think it would be more in college than in the pros, just because you might have a big drop off between the starter.
I'd agree. So that's why I don't know, but I'm gonna go. I mean, I haven't bet it yet, but I have 2 stars next to it. I mean, anyway, you had a game, and I have one. I mean, I have like 5 or 6 other games we can talk about. But what was the game that you really liked that you were talking about?
By the way, Nuggets up 18 at halftime.
And we have to stop now.
8.5. 8.5.
You have to stop. Oh, it's 8.5, but it's locked. So we'll come back to it. What was the game you were talking about?
It's gonna be gross. I'm sorry.
If it's an FCS team, I'm kicking you off.
It is, but it's UT Martin in Tennessee, and there's very specific reasoning behind my bet. I like the under 71.5. It's down to about 69.5 now. I don't see Tennessee running up the score. They're going to play a very vanilla offense. UT Martin may not score in general. And if you look at Tennessee, they've got their next 2 games, which are Kentucky and Georgia. This is just going to be a run-through game. They'll end up being bored by halftime, being up 35-0. This is a 38-point spread. I kind of lean towards Tennessee on the spread at 38.5, but I think this is a 45-0 game or something in that range. And I'm grabbing the under 71.5.
This is like that you and these Tennessee weird team unders, that Chattanooga under that you had.
Yeah, Chattanooga under versus Illinois. Oh, by the way, your Blackhawks fucking won.
They won?
They won in overtime.
Blackhawk Nation. Woohoo. But actually, this game wasn't I got him at like a minus 105. It was not supposed to, it was like not a
No, I got you.
Anyway. But we are potentially the Hilltoppers are up 20-17 with
and driving, and it's minute 41 left, and they have the ball at the USB 26.
Might go 3-0 and posted picks today after going 0-3 yesterday.
Oh, today's guaranteed to be a losing day for us.
Oh, really?
I had the Bulls, I had the Pacers, the over in the Florida game, Detroit plus points, Miami, Minnesota. My only winner right now at the moment was Brooklyn.
Let's look at that before both of these guys are off doing their thing. Why are the second half? Second half's got to be.
You want to look for third quarter lines.
Yeah, no, I am. Warriors minus 4.5 third quarter. No, at minus 130 at minus 137. No, thank you. So we'll go to. I'm
not live betting it just because I already have my bet on Denver.
I might second half bet it right now. That's what I'm.
That's fair.
But it's not letting me. I don't know what the hell the deal is. I'll open up another book, but let's try it one more time. Basketball, NBA. There are no games. Refresh. Enhance. Okay.
I knew that game was a fucking trap. I knew that game was a fucking trap, and I didn't fucking bet them.
What?
The Blackhawks. The Blackhawks. That's who.
Blackhawks Nation. Well, Lenny's probably not happy.
Let's go Hawks.
All right. What do you think about? Do you have any thoughts in UT Martin, Tennessee, and that gem?
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Who in Tennessee?
UT Martin. I put it up on the site.
Martin
Yeah,
taking
he's
the
a stand-up
points.
comedian. You ever heard
Right,
of him?
right alone, right off the rip, I'd lean towards UT Martin taking the points. And the only reason behind that is because Tennessee just came off a win against Alabama, and they get Kentucky and Georgia afterwards. So, no, I don't have too much on that game. I don't have anything on that game. I would lean towards that.
Yeah.
We're on the
And
under
one
for the
thing you
side
want
of
to
the
keep
gross
an eye
play of
out
the
here
week.
for our Vegas bet tomorrow. There's currently 8 minutes left in this Colorado game. It's tied. Hopefully, we can get some extra hockey in this game, and we'll get an
I
extra.
said
tired
live
Avalanche.
wager them when the Kraken went up 2-0.
You did.
I didn't bet the game at all. All right, I had the under. My bet. I had the under. So I didn't want them to tie up the game. Now I'm worried a little bit more on my under.
I'm not.
It'll stay
That's
on, Dad.
Why
That's
can't
really
I?
fun.
Why can't I? I can't bet the second. It's not letting me with the second half. It's all locked.
Give it a
up.
couple minutes and it'll
Kraken
pop
just
up.
scored.
Kraken just scored.
Kraken just scored.
Oh Jesus!
Well, hammer poop. There you go.
Nugget cock. Hold on, you fuckers.
Yeah.
Up 18 at halftime. Let's hope.
Plus
Here's the hope.
180. Plus
What could
180
go
money
wrong,
line.
right?
Full unit.
I got a 175 money line.
Me too, but I unleashed on the spread and the money line.
We have the spread on the site. We didn't put the money line up on the site. I almost did. I really liked it today.
Western Kentucky wins by 3, covers 1.5, 3-0.
They cover my 2.5. We're good to go.
Fuck yeah. When did you get 2.5?
We bet everything on Monday.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't go as planned, but I mean, the number one stat was UAB on the road. They were favored both times this season on the road, and they lost outright on the road.
Yeah.
So that's
UAB's not good.
I think there was some weird.
I think the Blazers are blazing too much before games.
Yeah.
By the way, did anybody see Ja Morant drop 49 points
We
tonight?
talked about that. Yeah, briefly for a second. Yeah.
Sheesh.
Nuts. All right.
Anyways,
Let's get back to college football.
let's do it.
Let's talk about a big game. And I don't know why I'm thinking about this team's at home. And they cover big spreads at home for the past like fucking decade.
Ohio
But
State.
Mississippi
Oh.
State, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
I have Bama as a 17-point favorite in this game at home, and you're getting 21.5 for Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see how Alabama has to have the mindset of we're going to blow everyone out. It's do or die, because if they lose another game, they're probably. I mean,
they're dead. Even a two-loss Bama.
Two-loss Bama.
They're not making it into the SEC championship.
They're the only team in college football that could be 2-loss that's considered. I mean, that's the only.
No, not even, because I remember they had 2 losses the other year and they didn't even get considered.
Well, they lost to Tennessee, who's one of the best teams in the in college football. But anyways, I mean, do we have thoughts on this? I don't even want to. I mean, like I have
took 21 with Mississippi State.
Yeah, I mean, I want to so bad, but it's fucking Alabama at home, and they cover ridiculous. I mean, it's just
Alabama may be up 24 at halftime. Let's be honest.
Alabama might win this by 30 points. I mean,
It's how many points is Mississippi State scoring?
What's the status? Bryce Young, right? Or that's their quarterback's name, right?
Yes.
What's his deal? He was hurt and then he wasn't, or I mean,
I don't know.
Is he fully healthy?
He played against Tennessee.
Oh, he did, but I think there was some like injury concern there or something.
He looked fine. I mean, Alabama threw up 7 touchdowns, so
Yeah. I don't know. This is a game that I kind of want to get on because it's a marquee game.
you don't need to.
I don't need to. I don't need to do
Just
anything.
because it's on TV doesn't mean I'm not going to bet it. I would lean towards an over.
Yeah, I just feel like there's 4.5 points of value. I guess that doesn't mean much versus Alabama. Hammer poop. You got to be on Mississippi State, right?
This is one of those ones where it's just a little inflated. I don't know what to do. Is Tennessee are they on a bye this week?
Essentially, they're against UT Martin.
They're
you
playing. They're
mentioned-
playing an
yeah.
FCS school.
Yeah,
Just
you
a
just
bye.
mentioned.
So, yes,
I
bye
like
week.
that. I like your feel, Tim, on that under too. Yeah, like a 50-0 just stays on. Yeah, 50
Yeah.
to 7, way under
Uh-huh.
70. I don't know. Yeah, historically, you love Bama off a loss, right? You think, but I don't know. This Bama team just doesn't seem like they are like obviously like slipping up. They really should be a 3-loss team. They could be a 3-loss. They should have lost to Texas.
Texas and
fucking
Texas A&M.
yeah, and then obviously so. I don't know. I mean, should they be laying 21 to this team? I'm not sure.
I want to put a little bit another snippet in there. There was a Twitter post from a checkmarked Twitter page, a verified one, of saying that this is going to be Nick Saban's last year.
That was a bullshit.
Was it
Last-
actually? Or
Yeah, that was bullshit. That
all
was
right, I
bull-
fell for it. Never mind. Ignore me.
That they're verified. They're not going to be verified for much longer, though.
I fell for the
No,
bullshit.
I
I
think
saw
I
it
saw
verified. I thought it was good. Never mind.
I think I saw their last tweet was in like 2016.
Don't believe the hype. Well, Nick, what do you, I'm gonna grab something real quick. I need 30 seconds, but do you have any thoughts on the Mississippi State Bulldogs and the Bama Shitcocks?
Yeah, no. The Bama shitcocks.
I don't
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, that tweet is now unavailable. By the way, Tim.
That's hilarious.
That's
Oh,
fair. That's fair.
Suckered in like a 13-year-old schoolboy. What are you doing? By
I
the
don't
way. Oh, wait a minute. We haven't done many of these. Hold your horses.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
I fell for it. I'm stupid. All right.
I can. By the way, when talking about looking back at the basketball game here, I can take Golden State second half -9.
Okay, let's go back because I need to get a bet in, and
Yeah.
it's still fucking locked.
Plus 315 on the money line with Golden State.
Nick, shut up.
No, I'm not doing that.
Nick, stop it.
Stop it. That's stupid?
some help.
thing you guys have? Get some help.
I can take a -5 in the third quarter, or -9 for the second half.
You know what? I'm
Probably just gonna
I'm
stay in.
gonna let it ride. I'm not gonna get crazy. I'm already on the money line.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
just
stay
let it
off.
ride.
How do we feel about Pittsburgh, Louisville? Do we have any thoughts on that game?
Louisville money line.
Well, let's do this. I'll do it because I need to go grab something.
Yeah.
Pick a game that Nick, you go. Pick a game that you have some deep interest in and some insight into. Because I have a bunch, but I'm not sure they're ones that you guys are going to want to talk about. So I'll be right back.
Let's take a look.
What's for dinner,
Um,
Hammer Poop?
A little beef and a little fucking pork, man. We're going all carnivore tonight, baby.
Oh, really?
nice.
Keto.
Mhm.
Keto cock.
Yeah.
All right, I got one that I'm looking at here where I had this game power ranked at 1.5, and I believe you can get a full touchdown. I'm on West Virginia plus the points.
Actually, that one's down to a 5, and that one's our biggest. What do you call it?
CLV.
Biggest CLV of the week. Because
I like that one too, by the way.
11% CLV because we got it at 7 and now it's at 5. So
I do have that down here somewhere. I do. I have it at 2.5 Texas Tech, and I've got them, so it's 3.5 line value. But anything else jump out at you about the game or not? Because I'm gonna pull up some stats.
Just
now.
the discrepancy in my my power rank to the actual line. I got it a full touchdown.
Yeah. Let me pull up their stats because I want to break. This is when I want to break down because obviously we're talking about JT Daniels. West Virginia is a team. I think they've been kind of disrespected a little bit this year. Their defense kind of looks like Swiss cheese at times, but their offense is legit. Let's pull it up. They're scoring 33 points a game, 29th. So they're scoring. They're also giving up 36. That's the point. Their defense has not been great. Passing yards, 261 a game. That's 46th. Rushing yards, 166. That's 49. So they're slightly above. They're actually well above average. I know, slightly above average in both. They have a bad pass defense, horrible, 120th, and a good rush defense. And they don't get sacked. They have a good offensive line. They're 22nd and QB sacked. And they're slightly above average in sacking the quarterback. So even though their defense is bad, their defensive line is not too bad in passing situations. Let's look at Texas Tech and see what they do. 28, they're 58th in scoring offense. 104th, they're giving up a ton of points too, so their defense is bad as well. 116, they're below average in rushing, but they pass the shit out of the ball. 343. So this might be an over. What's the total?
Be careful with where is this game? Texas Tech. Be careful with any games in the Texas-Oklahoma area and going after overs because there's going to be heavy windstorms all throughout the area. And you will see this because the line went from a 69.5 to a 65.5.
65.5.
The Oklahoma State game went from 66 to 60. There was another game that went, which one was it? That went from 60 to 54. And the TCU game went from 60 to 54.5. A lot of games are going to be a lot of running, so just be careful with overs in the Texas-Oklahoma.
So if that's the case, if that's the case, going back, so they don't run the ball particularly well. Texas Tech. Let's go back to West Virginia's stats real quick, and they're actually above average rushing the ball. Here's the deal. If that wasn't the case, so that makes me lean towards West Virginia too, because if you take the ball if you put the ball in the air, Texas Tech would smash West Virginia, just because West Virginia's pass defense is so bad. But if you're running the ball, if this becomes a running game, advantage West Virginia, actually by quite a bit. So I'm double starring this. I'm already getting 3.5 points of line value. JT Daniels, Mater Day, Southern California Pride, Sarah League. He was he wasn't there when you were there. When Chris was there, Matt Barkley was a freshman.
Yeah.
Because he graduated and he started in 09. Was he a freshman there? No, he wasn't. Yeah, you guys are about the same age. He started as a freshman at Mater Day, which is for high school is crazy. And he started at USC, one of only two true freshman quarterbacks to start at USC. Granted, he went to the NFL and petered out, but him and Sam Darnold, those OC, good-looking, straight-haired surfer boys,
and Mark Sanchez.
Well, Mark Sanchez went to Mission Viejo, but Mark Sanchez had a much better NFL career than both.
You know how I could tell? I had a Mark Sanchez jersey at one point, so you know.
Mark Sanchez was, in my opinion, was a way better than Darnold, but he's better than both of them. Better than Barkley too. Anyway, West Virginia looks like a really fucking good look. Really, if let's just pull up. Do you have the weather up? Where is Texas Tech? What city is that in?
No, I don't remember.
Texas is its own fucking country. I don't know. What city is Texas? Lubbock. Okay, Lubbock weather. That's where Cabby went. He pitched for them before he got drafted. Saturday. I mean, the wind's only.
It's enough to drop the total 4 points.
18 miles an hour.
And it's not much as the winds, it's the wind gusts.
Yeah, you're right. I like it. I like West Virginia. I like it a lot.
I'm probably going to hop off in like 5-10 minutes here. My roommate wants to talk some hockey betting, and he wants to talk over the slate with me. So I'm going to probably go and talk that over with him because he just signed up.
You have any other games you're on? Have you any other games you're on? And then give your picks, and then
I mean,
we can wrap it up.
A ton of different games, so I'm not nothing in specific. I'll give out plays though. I'll make them
Okay.
all hockey, so everybody else can give out college football.
Really?
Or I'll give out at least one hockey.
Yeah, I'd much rather. Yeah, you can do what you want. You want to hop off now? I mean, we can wrap this
Yeah,
up. In the next...
I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna hop
Yeah.
off in a minute here.
All right, Nicholas. Okay, what are your 3 plays? If we haven't gone over them, we got to cap them a little bit.
We went over the entire NHL slate, so probably 2 of those are going to come from that game.
All right, we'll start with those.
We'll start with one that I know you're on as well. We're going to go with the Vegas Golden Knights.
It's already been picked. Occupancy.
Occupancy already picked them. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, then I'll go with just one hockey pick. I'll go with the New Jersey Devils puck line at plus 140. I really like that look.
Are they favorites or dogs?
They are favorites.
Okay.
They're $2 favorites, but their underlying statistics suggest that they're gonna smash.
Okay.
Then I'll go with a couple of college football plays. Then we'll go with that. One of them is this is a bottom up type of cap, but I'm going to take 30 points with Iowa. I have this at a 21.5, so I see decent value here with the Hawkeyes. So I know this could be scary. I'll take Iowa plus 30.
They can't score, dude. I'm telling you.
That was my question: is what are we gonna see? Touchdown, Iowa. 27 seconds left, and it is now 55-7.
I watch them versus Michigan, and Michigan's a good team and their defensive team, but boy, oh fucking boy,
they were only getting 10 points against Michigan though.
They were, and by the way, they almost covered like
points.
5 times, but they couldn't. It was just like last night.
I said this is not a pretty play. This is not a pretty play.
No, it's ugly. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm off that like fucking like the plague. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. You know what? I gave out one ugly dog plus the points. Let me go out and give another ugly dog plus the points. We already went over this game, so I don't have to break it down too much.
Yeah, let's screw the record up. Let's go.
Mississippi State plus 21.
No, that's fine. That's good. I like that one. You can get 21.5, can't you?
I can. I'll take that then. I'll take
right,
whatever.
we'll just see what it is. It might have gone down. That wouldn't surprise me. All right. Well, Tim's going to plug all the stuff you have, but go talk hockey. Does your roommate cap?
He just signed up with Sportsbook, so he saw I hit the Coyotes one night, and then I hit the Flyers the next, and now he wants.
So buyer beware. He's on. It's all downhill from here. Roommate, get out. Get out.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah. All right. See you, man.
See you, buddy.
Exit now.
All right, we won't go on too much longer unless you guys want to. But I mean, I have a bunch of plays I want to. I mean, Utah State, Wyoming. Does anyone care about that?
I was eyeing that, but
Utah State's one of the worst. I mean, is a horrible team.
I haven't played that game.
You do?
Yeah, I got the over.
Okay.
It's 43.
Yeah. Well, that kind of scares me too. But I mean, I have Wyoming as 6-point favorites. Is good 4.5, but I don't think that's right. I mean, Wyoming beat Air Force, and I thought Air Force was a decent team. Wyoming's not a great team, but
was the only team coming into the season that was favored by 10 points in every single game. Oh no, sorry, they were favored in every game. Sorry.
Yeah, it was
by 10 points.
Yeah, and Wyoming, it was kind of an aberration, I think, but Utah State is bad, boy. Oh boy, are they bad.
Oh yeah, they are.
And Chris got off looked like he wanted to say something, but I mean, what's your look at that game? Are you saw it and you like the line, or?
No, I agree with you. Are you on the poopy dog there?
On Utah State?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. I want controversy. Go ahead.
No. I mean, I think Utah State's.
You always support poopy dogs.
But yeah,
brothers and bets. By the way, that was my best play of the night. We cashed it.
Hell yeah, they pulled it out.
The under cashed in the Kraken game. Kraken money line. Anybody?
Kraken.
I don't know.
Stayed under.
Yep.
Wow.
All right,
Yeah.
Utah State. Why in the fuck would you be on Utah State?
It's disgusting. I like
that you know what? That's all you
It's
need to hear.
disgusting.
I
It's
like
disgusting.
whack.
Fine.
I like West Coast or whack or whatever the fuck they are.
The West Coast Conference.
Yeah.
WCC?
I'm on another one. Dave. I'm fading I was on Fresno home dogs last week against San Jose State. I'm gonna fade the fuck out of them this week, laying that in New Mexico.
Yeah.
So I like
Wow.
home dogs in that conference. I think it gets a little inflated. Yeah, Wyoming, like you said, they were good at home against Air Force, but it's tough to go on the road in this conference.
Is Wyoming on the road?
Wyoming's at home.
Yeah, they're at home.
Oh, it's disgust. That's what makes it even just more Isn't it only like -4 or some shit?
4.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god! It's take the poop.
You are a dirty dog. That's all I gotta say.
It's
You
disgusting.
dirty dog. All right. Well, I'm on Wyoming. I think it's a question mark, but that to me, Utah State is just so bad. And if I'm getting a point or two of line value, I'm on that. But we'll go to another. Hold on one second. What conference are they in? I need to look that up. It's at the Mountain West. We'll stay on the West Coast. San Diego State, Nevada. I think Nevada has gotten major disrespect. I know there was the coach change and all of that. First game of the season versus New Mexico, I had them. They're getting 7 points at home versus San Diego State. I have 5 points in line. I have San Diego State as a 2-point favorite. I think this is almost an auto click for me. Nevada's just gotten disrespected, and they're not a great team, but they're not nearly as bad as people are thinking. Are you guys on this game at all? Do you have any picks or any opinions?
I had Nevada against Texas State, and then other than that, they've done nothing but burn my money because I had them versus Incarnate Word. I had
that
them
was
versus
a silly
Iowa.
bet.
I
Yeah.
had them versus Colorado State. That none of them makes me want to go after them anymore. I'm staying completely away from this game.
Yeah.
I think the total was 35.5. I would lean over.
Well, Nevada, Colorado State, that was another aberration. I mean, they should have won that game. I mean, granted, and they lost to Hawaii too. But I think the thing is it's not so much how they've performed, because they've performed not so great. But I think their lines are constantly disrespected, and that's why. I mean, you can't look. It's like with poker. You can't look at what you expect or what you cap it at and what happens, because if you cap it right and you're completely wrong, there's still some logic to your cap, unless you're just a horrible handicapper. But I think the lines have. I mean, this shouldn't be. I mean, San Diego should be a 3 or point favor, or should be a should be a 3 point or less favorite, in my opinion. But anyway, all right. Tell me a game or two that you're on that we can break down, because I think we're on opposite games. I'm not on a lot of big primetime games, that's for sure.
That's fair. Let's see.
And by the way, anyone that's in the chat, thanks for joining us. If you could go to ESB, Earl Sports Bets, like and subscribe. Come to my channel, Dave, Picks from Dave. Hit the like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. Best bets for tomorrow: Oklahoma State. Yep, we already said Oklahoma State's. West Virginia's another one. Navy's another one. Mississippi State, some guys like versus Alabama. I'm a question mark.
I'm not interested in it. Nick likes it.
Yeah, it's a look. It's a look. Wyoming and Nevada we talked about, but I think my favorite bets are Oklahoma State and West Virginia and Navy. Those are my favorites. But
Cal, Pac-12 at night. Take the poop, Cal, motherfucker.
I thought about that too. Actually.
Cal.
Washington
Yeah, Jesus-
I have
ass
nothing,
on the
I have
road.
nothing involved in that
They
game.
just lost outright to Colorado, which, by the way, I was on Colorado, big home dog. And now they come home. How can they hang with mighty Washington Huskies? Take it, baby. +7.5, +8.
You heard it here first. I mean, how can you argue? How in the world can you argue with this?
1 and 2 Saturday,
Sometimes
that's
you
okay.
have-
We're 6 and 6. We say, fuck it. Put this fucking apron back on and we go back to work and we take scum. Knicks +4.5 smells like shit against the Clippers. Pelicans +3.5 in Mile High. Why is it that line? We don't know, but we take it because it smells. Blackhawks +1.5. Hammer poop, folks. Let's go. Let's have a Sunday.
Sometimes you have to do the unthinkable, David.
Well, I know, and you do the unthinkable quite unthinkably a lot. Anyway, Tim, go ahead. You had a game on the tip of your tongue.
How about the marquee matchup of the day?
Oh, here we go.
Hawaii and Colorado State.
All right, go ahead. I have this crossed off, but go ahead.
Under. I like the under.
What's the
These
total
two- 46.5. I got it at. I don't know what it's at the moment, but it's dropped to 45.5. These two teams are not going to score. This one's going to be an ugly one. I could see this one easily. Yeah, Colorado State's gone under in all 6 games so far. And combined, these two teams have played 13 games, have gone under in 11 of them. Yeah, this one's an under game for me. I don't see many points coming from either side.
Yeah, we talked about NHL. Sabres were talked about. Obviously, a couple people liked them.
I bet the Sabres every day.
Yeah, well, but the
That's
two
just
NHL guys.
That's just an experiment.
Well, the two NHL guys like the Sabres.
Correct.
Hammer poop.
Nick
What do you?
Gibbons.
I mean, I'm the only other thing. Pitt and Louisville. I'm kind of looking at. But we
What are you
talked
looking at,
about all
Fred?
the other ones. I'm looking. What am I looking at? I'm looking at Pitt.
On the opposite side.
Yeah, I'm not high on Malik Cunningham. I am high on Keaton Slovis. What I mean, are they basically saying that at 2.5? They're basically saying that Pitt and Louisville are an equal team, or
To be fair, we got Louisville at a pick 'em at -110 money line.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, Nathan agrees with you in that under.
Yeah, 100%. I also have 27 plays or something for tomorrow. So I know
you do. Well, let's go to Hammer Poop and we'll do picks. Yeah. What any games you want to talk about or on the fence with? Want to cap?
I think. I mentioned New Mexico against my alma mater, Fresno. I think they're way inflated, but obviously that's another. We just went over the West Coast Conference, and I said I like to take dogs. One I think we should talk about. I kind of like Oregon. I think UCLA is kind of a trendy dog. I've been on UCLA as home dogs against Washington and Utah the last 2 weeks. I think it's time to jump off that train. I really like Oregon. I think people are going to think, oh, I'm catching 6.5, 7. I like Oregon a little bit here. What do you guys think?
I would agree because just for the fact that I think that Oregon is playing. I had Oregon as the third best team in the Pac-12, and I had Washington and UCLA at 4-ish tied. And I think UCLA is kind of playing above expectation, and Oregon's playing below. Is this in Oregon or is this? It's in Oregon.
Why do you say they're playing below? They are 5-1 this year, and their only loss is to the number 1 team in the nation.
Who? Oregon?
Oregon's only loss was to Georgia.
I honestly think I'm going to be honest. I think Oregon. Well, Oregon is a better team than Utah. This is the thing.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe, but here's the deal. I think there was a lot. I'll say this differently than what I said. I think that there was a lot of people that thought that the coaching move going to Miami when Mario Cristobal went to Miami would affect the team. I didn't think that would affect it so much because he's not a Lincoln Riley type. He isn't tied into. He's not that type of coach. And Oregon is much more of a. There are no matter who the coach is for certain teams, they're going to play that way. Like even when Mike Tomlin goes away, leaves the Steelers are still going to play the same way. They've always played that way in the organization. They're always a hard-nosed team and a defensive team. The Ravens will be that way when John Harbaugh leaves. Oregon always they're always a creative team on offense. They're always more of a type of fast tempo team. They have a culture there. It's about the culture. So I think, and also, by the way, it's been a winning culture for 10 or 12 years. So I think this team, I guess if they're 5-1, that's fine. But I think that this game should be, if you looked at the beginning of the season versus UCLA, they would be more than a 6.5-point favorite. I don't know if you disagree.
And the only reason why they're only a 6.5 is that UCLA
is undefeated. Yeah, that's my point. That's my point. I think there's a bias here with, and I guess I shouldn't have said that Oregon is playing under. I think that the reason why this line is more is because UCLA is playing way above expectation.
100%.
So
Oregon.
Right away when he brought this up, I mean, my look in I'm off this game, but my look in this is I think there's a convincing story for Oregon being a double-digit favorite.
I think they should be. We did not end up getting to putting up this play on the site because Nick didn't like it, but I like Oregon. I think they win by double digits. I don't want to say easy, but I think they win by double digits. I don't think that this game is close. I think Oregon is way better than UCLA. They've played really, really well this season. Wins against Utah, against Washington, but this is still a team. Oregon's only loss was opening week against Georgia. It wasn't a pretty game. It was 49-3. Other than that, 70-14, 41-20, 44-41, 45-27, 49-22. This is a Oregon team that's just playing really well. Yes, TCU as well.
Well, I have the TCU Kansas State game. I have TCU is 3.62 point favorites, and the line's at 3.5.
Exactly what they're at.
Yeah. I can't get on, but I'm liking what Kansas State's doing. I'm also liking what TCU's doing, but something's going to crack with both of these teams
eventually. Yep.
This might be the game. I could see it either way. I could see TCU blowing them out. I could see Kansas State upsetting. I mean, there are arguments for both sides. I think
100%. I like TCU. I think they win by a touchdown at least.
Yeah. Liberty, BYU. I'm not betting against BYU.
I would lean Liberty in that game.
Liberty. Good for them. I bet Liberty earlier this season. I forget who against Old Dominion. I think was it Old Dominion they played? I forget. I'm not betting against BYU.
Did. Let's see. Liberty's 6-1. Ooh,
God's on their side.
They played Old Dominion, and they covered. I find it funny. So a couple weeks ago, Liberty went to UMass, and you know that Liberty, heavy religious school. Guess what UMass did that night?
What?
It was Pride Night
in Boston.
In Massachusetts, in UMass, it was Pride Night when Liberty came to town.
Yeah, you know what's funny is. It's kind of a sad thing to do because you shouldn't mess with people's religion. But I can remember years ago when Kawhi Leonard was at SDSU and they played a game. It was BYU came to SDSU to play a game, and all of SDSU's student section dressed up in white collared shirts with short sleeves and black name tags and glasses. And it's like, and they sat right behind where their section where they're shooting free throws. And it's like, you guys can't do that. That's not.
Yes, you can. That is hilarious.
That's phenomenal.
That is phenomenal.
I mean, that's like if you've seen the movie Basketball, talking to South Park, that's like a fake out. That's like one of the fake outs, you know?
Yeah.
But you can't do that. But anyway, I love how at the end of the show when we're wrapping out, I guess everyone's going to bed watching this on their phone in their bed, but we have the most viewers we've had the whole day. Yeah. Chris, any other games? Give me something really shitty. Give me something really bad.
I already told you. I did Cal. I mean, how much shittier can you get? They
Well,
just
I don't
lost
know. UT
to,
Martin versus
they just-
Tennessee. I mean, that's pretty shitty.
They just lost to Colorado, arguably one of the worst in the nation.
They're worse than the worst team in the Pac-12 for sure.
Yeah. Now they're only catching 7.5 against Washington.
Cool.
I wouldn't call it a shitty game because I'm a fan of one of the teams. Home dogs. How about East Carolina? Plus 4.5. You get Central Florida coming off of a 70-point performance.
Yeah, gotta love it.
I'm going to be at the game. It's going to be I think it's a blackout tomorrow, so it's a night game. It should be fun. But I'm going to bet East Carolina. It's not on the site. It's just going to be a personal thing because why not? But,
You're driving out to go to the game?
Yes, I am.
Cool.
It's an hour and a half. It's not a big deal.
Oh, it's not.
My
that
little
far.
brother's actually going to it tomorrow too. We got him, and it's actually going to be the only game that he goes to this year, and that Christina's going to be able to go to. So.
Is that your 13-year-old little brother?
Yeah.
You gonna get him drunk?
No.
Oh,
I'm not even gonna get drunk. We're gonna be back in Raleigh.
I shouldn't say that. Don't drink until you're 21. By the way,
we're gonna be back in Raleigh by the time we go to bed. So
what time's the game? You said it was a night game.
7. It's a 7:30 game. It's gonna be a late night, but yeah. I don't care.
Cool. Well, let's just go to best bets because we've gone over quite a few games, and
one more poop.
Yeah.
If someone wants to do some poop in the ACC, Boston College off of ass whooping over Clemson. Coming up, Wake's been killing. Take the 20.5. Boston College, Golden Eagle, cock. Let's go.
That scares
You
me.
have fun with that one.
It's disgusting. Yeah. They'll lose by 17, and we'll get the cover, dads. Let's go.
All right. Let's start. We'll keep it with you. You get 3 plays. It can be anything. They can be NCAA. They can be NFL. They can be hockey, MLB. I'd love to have more NCAA football personally, but you know.
Yeah, we could do the Cal one, the 7.5, whatever it is, 7.5, 8. I think I'm with Tim and Nick, the Earls, on our, and we had like plays on the NFL on Wednesday night. So I told you guys we'd do some college. I'll do that 7.5 Pac-12 after dark. It always gets nasty.
Yeah, it's actually, you can get it at Unibet. You can get it at 8.
8. Let's take the 8.
Cool. Let's do it. Cal Bears.
Bears. Marshawn Lynch. Tony Gonzalez.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Let's look at the chat real quick. Work till 11 on the grind, Dave. Oh, yeah, well, I know about that. I work fucking 16 hours a day. This job or the other one. I stayed away from the Boston College game. Good for you.
Don't do it.
We did. We'll say that real quick.
I like Cuse.
Yeah.
LSU, yes, and Iowa, I'm staying completely away from.
For sure. Make LSU one of our plays because we love.
Oh yes, LSU has to be one of them.
So they loved LSU. Iowa. Nick liked Iowa. I think that was one of his plus 30. Nick liked was one of his actual picks, and I lean Syracuse. I'm not betting it. So you want LSU? What's LSU at right now?
-2.
Okay. All right, and then your final pick.
Boop.
I think
I'll do New Mexico plus 10.5. Home dog. Fresno State's ass. Fresno State's disgusting.
Well, that's your school. This is the true handicapper when you can bet against your. Let's say this for all fanboys out there.
They played well. Devonta Adams got his fucking jersey retired last week. They played well. Now they're gonna go to New Mexico. They're gonna fucking look ahead, and they're gonna fuck them up.
You're not a true handicapper. I don't care what anyone says. People say, "Oh, I just if I don't like it, I don't bet it." If you've never bet against your team, that's a sign of a true handicapper. And by the way, the hardest thing to do is to bet against your college. I'm not saying, I grew up when I was 2 years old. I was a Niner fan or a Raiders fan. No, if you went to college, there's nothing more ingrained in you as a fan
Nick,
when you go
Nick has
when you,
faded ECU a couple times.
that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
I've bet against USC. Like that's a sign of a true handicap. But anyways,
Even that Nick has bet against East Carolina and then went to the game
yeah.
and
Yes.
celebrated as they walked it off against Memphis in basketball.
That's
Yeah. It's just money. Ultimately, money is the most important thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
People say money
Sorry.
doesn't.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry is right. Tim, let's go. If we haven't capped it, we'll cap it. But if we have, we'll just run through it. What are your 3 plays?
Let's start off with an American Conference game. We're taking Navy money line
Love
plus
it.
135, I believe. That's what I got it at. Let's see what I can get it at.
We
now.
talked about that game. So
Yes. What can I get it at? 140. Plus 140. I'll take my gross play from that UT Martin game, the under. Get it at 70 now. But that game finishes 45-7, maybe.
Okay.
And
love it.
let's find one more.
Yeah, open the 5 pages of bets that you have for tomorrow.
Let's take that under in the Hawaii game, under the 46.5.
Where are we?
And if people think these games are gross, just wait until college basketball time. I'll be listing off schools you didn't even know existed.
Well, that goes without saying. Hawaii, is it in Colorado State? Yeah.
Yep, 46.5.
46.5 under.
Well, did you end up betting the Golden State Warriors third quarter?
No,
because it went from an 18-point game to most likely a 9 or 10-point game.
It was minus 4.5 at minus 137. I'm not betting that.
Oh, sheesh. Yeah, never mind.
No, I couldn't get it anywhere near what I want. But obviously,
they're gonna win third quarter. But yeah, Nugg's still up by 10, I think.
9 at the moment. Bones is shooting another free throw, and he hit it. 10-point lead and 1.6 seconds left. Take it and shooting and missing, and that's the end of the third. 98-88.
Plus 180, baby. Let's do it.
All right. Hold on, baby.
So what do you guys picked a lot of bet. I mean, I like the Navy bet. No, it's fine. There's other. I'm gonna go with West Virginia plus 6.
Nice.
Especially because of the weather factor, which was brought up. You heard it here first on Nerd Talk. Plus 6. What else do I like?
The Poopy Mountaineers. Let's go.
Yeah, JT Daniels. Oh, I'm gonna take Wyoming minus 4.5. Wyoming as a favorite.
Why do you do this to yourself, Dave? Why do you do this to yourself?
I'm telling you right now, Wyoming minus 4.5.
Pain.
And then more pain. Nevada plus 7. Let's do it.
God.
Yes. More pain.
Oh,
Nevada plus 7.
dude. Oh, God. That's disgusting.
Disrespected.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, at least one of us should win our Poopy home dog, right?
God, I love just betting the shit teams.
I think I win for the shittiest bets this week, and that's not usually me. I'm not a favorate guy, but
hold on. The shittiest bet. I gave out the under in the Hawaii game.
Well, no. We don't say lock, but okay. Would you rather bet that game or Nevada plus 7?
Well, I have money on the Hawaii.
Obviously, so yeah. I mean, Wyoming minus 4.5. That's the.
I don't think I would want to lay points on Wyoming.
Yeah, double-digit win right here. Come on.
Cal's not quite complete diarrhea, but it's pretty watery. So.
It's bad. I mean, it's pretty watery.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. No, it's bad. All right, well, we got our plays. We'll end a little bit. I mean, usually we go about 30 more minutes, but there's no reason to keep going. Well, let's go through the chat real quick. Hawaii under it is. There you go. Pitt money line. I like Pitt. money line.
I'm
Would I go
on the
money line?
Louisville side, but that's just me.
I like getting I would take the points with Pitt. I have it as a star,
Well,
but not a bet.
And we got it at money line minus 110. So
Texas A&M, Cabby likes that bet. I don't have no opinion.
A&M, no. I like South Carolina. Give me Ritter for the upset at the home dog.
I'm off that game.
I didn't bet it, but that's where I would lean.
Watching CFL with my friend.
Oh God.
Yeah, oh God,
you
is
have fun
right.
with that one.
Yeah, no CFL.
And I think the CFL, this is like the last week of the regular season, so they got teams that don't care. So have fun.
Don't understand 3-down football. It's not the way I roll. And I think the uprights are in the front of the end zone instead of the back. Is that
Correct.
right? I don't know. Yeah,
they're in the front. They're not the back.
1937 all over again. But anyway, all right, let's get out of here. Hammer Poop. Tell us where we can find you. Plug whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
We're at Fade U with the U Sports. We're doing well, man. Dave, thanks for listening to our little pods. We post our plays. We have 3 guys that are 20-10 or better on the.
They're fucking hot. All
contest.
of them are great cappers.
Hot. Hopefully, we can continue. This week is funky with all the 8 teams that are over a touchdown. Let's do it. Fade U. I love it. I love coming on with you guys, the Earl brothers. I love them. They love to take poopy dogs with me. We love this. This is how you make money, boys. Listen to these guys. You know, there's value there. You're not going to get any value taking a team that everyone and their mom loves. You're going to get it when it's nasty. Hopefully the Nuggets hold for us.
Yep.
Hopefully 10 point game with 11.5 to go.
We're catching 5. Dave got greedy, took the money line, but so did I. I sprinkled on the money line too.
Full unit plus 180. Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, Tim.
Yeah, Earl Sports Bets everywhere, but you guys should probably know that by now. Make sure you guys are following Dave. If you're not, go on. If you're watching on Earl Sports Bets right now, go into your YouTube search box, type in picks from Dave, search it up. You'll see another stream just like this, and go and I'll have to start putting your link in the description of the Earl Sports Bets thing. Just go and look him up, subscribe to him. He's the one that put this all together. Michael Porter Jr. from 3. Anyways, you know what? I have ADHD or something because I'll be talking and then something will happen and I'll react to it. And anyways, make sure you guys check out Dave. It's important for everybody to grow. Check out Fade U. Poopy plays. I love the poopy plays. I have no problem. If it's plus money, you know I like it. Most of the time. But this is always fun to do. Even if I'm late, I still enjoy doing this each time we come out and talk sports. Nothing better than be able to do sports for a living. So gotta love it. But make sure you guys follow these guys.
Thanks, both of you, for coming. I'm Dave. You can find me at Earl Sports Bets. At least I can find it on the YouTube channel. Yeah, we run it on both channels. If you're on mine and you don't know them, which probably isn't the case, go follow Earl Sports Bets. Go follow Fade U Sports and Hazmatsuit23 on Twitter. Go watch their podcast. By the way, it's super fire. I mean, the way their perspective, everyone has different perspectives and strategies, but their perspective on things is super, super sharp. So go follow them. And then if you haven't, hit the like and subscribe wherever you're watching. If you're watching on Twitter, follow us. Leave a comment and all that. But thanks for watching. We're going to sign out. I'm glad we're out here a little earlier. We had less people on, but people had date nights and things, and that's how things go.
Lame.
But, yeah, well, it happens.
Sorry, wifey.
Next Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can get my picks for free on my Twitter page. Go to Earl Sports Bets. They have picks as well. And we'll see you next week, guys. Thanks for watching.